I'm going to start us out this week. Can I
as
say,
usual, yeah.
I live in this very weird hell where everything I looked for in a woman when I was 19 is everything I would actively avoid in a woman now that I'm 29.
I could say I'm pretty much the same.
Probably same.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just, I remember, I don't know why, and I think it's like the creatine, or maybe it's like the copious amounts of whey protein, but there's something,
the amount of cum.
There's something, yeah, that too. There's something about bodybuilding that just completely changes what you look for in a romantic partner. And luckily, my wife has been perfect since the day I married her. But I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, man, girls with multicolored hair and septum piercings are like my first red flag these days. When I was 19, I was like, that is my first erection. Like, that is my love at first sight. And now it's just like, oh no.
See, whenever I was 19, getting out of, like, in high school, well, I guess it wasn't in high school when I was 19, but whenever I was going, like, graduating, around that time, I was more into, like, calm, quiet, dainty lady types, and this was well before I, realized I like penis, as well as vagina.
They gotta be, like, 5'2" with a 12-inch macro cock.
Yes.
Literally
that's
perfect
what I
girl.
became. That's what I became.
Man, I got an anime for you to watch, Mike. It's called Futabu.
What?
Yeah,
sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's an anime. Look it up. It's called Futabu. It deals with the struggles of being a girl with male genitalia.
That actually doesn't sound... I mean, it's probably terrible because you're recommending it, but it doesn't sound bad.
No, it's a story of basically a group of people that feel ostracized by society because they're born. They're that very rare birth... I don't want to say defect, but it's that birth where you're born with both genitalia.
It's called it's an intersex condition.
Yes. And it's a club of, I think it's like 4 to 6 girls. They all choose to identify as girls with the intersex addiction, and they have a completely...
Oh, wait a second. Fuck you. This is porn. I just remembered this. I've jerked off to this. Fuck you. Welcome, everybody, to the We Hate Coronavirus podcast, the only podcast that's doing a wellness check. I'm English Mike, your host. Joining me, as always, is Frog. How you doing, Frog?
I'm doing okay. It's, I'm locked inside.
All right, he is properly quarantined.
That's
Moth,
just living in Canada. That's just... he's like looking out of his igloo, and he's like, nope, still haven't seen the neighbor in 3 years.
I don't want to hear it, Alaska boy. That's literally your existence.
I got a population of 350,000 in my city, thank you. In fact, the mayor of my city has such a raging erection for San Francisco that he's like, what? San Francisco went under quarantine and made all the restaurants close? I should do that too. I'm a good mayor, guys. Guys, I'm a good mayor. I'm going to put everybody in quarantine. Despite the fact that all Alaskans do is go to Taco Bell and smoke weed. Like, that's literally all anybody does is like, go to Taco Bell, smoke weed, go buy the Pickle Rick Pringles can.
Is Taco Bell good there?
I mean, it's Taco Bell. It's
like Taco Bell is Taco Bell. Like, it's not good, it's not bad. Do you want something vaguely... If you want something on a tortilla vaguely being Spanish, you'll go to Taco Bell.
Yeah, but you don't go to Taco Bell for the food. You go to Taco Bell because it's the only place with Baja Blast.
I had never been to Taco Bell before.
That shit's gross.
Like, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I despise Carl's Jr. because I feel like their burgers are way too overpriced, and I'd rather just go to Wendy's to get the same, like, thing, but better. But, like, if Carl's Jr. started carrying Pitch Black, I would go to Carl's Jr. for every single meal. And that's Taco Bell.
So, for those in the South, a Carl's Jr. is called a Hardee's.
A Hardy Boys, yeah.
Yeah, we call them Hardee's down here. So you never had Taco Bell, Frog?
Wait.
No, yeah.
Mike. Do you have Come and Go?
What?
Hell yeah.
You have Come and Go.
What is that?
My city has
sounds like something like
5 different
lewd.
Come and Goes.
Speaking of which, Come and Go is the only like gas station that still does Pitch Black.
I wouldn't know. I'm not a fan of getting blacked.
Okay, what about Cheerwine? Do you know what Cheerwine is?
No, I don't know what cheer
Wait,
wine is.
do you seriously not know what cheer wine is?
What is all this?
No.
This is all like American shit, dude. I don't know what's going on.
It's like cherry
I
Dr.
don't even
Pepper,
know.
but good.
Isn't
No, that
Dr. Pepper
must
cherry
be-
by default?
Yes, it is.
No, it's root beer and Coke.
Yeah, and Coke is cherry. Coke is a cherry soda.
No, it's not. Cherry Coke
yes,
is a
it
cherry
is.
soda. That's
No,
literally
that's
why
just-
cherry Coke exists, Mike.
No, shut up. This is something that's pissed me off for my
No,
entire
you
life.
can eat a-
Cherry Coke is just Coke with extra cherry. It's not Coke with cherry. I hate anyone who says otherwise is fucking banned.
No, that's
I'm
the
banning you
absolute-
from my Twitter.com, from my Discord.com, and from my YouTube.com. Post in the fucking comments that you like cherry, you're fucking gone.
No, Coke is literally just carbonated asbestos, and you drink it because you want to prove that you're a real man who can handle a painful soda. And you know what? You develop Stockholm Syndrome for it.
It tastes
Fuck
just like
you,
pain.
fuck you, Moth. You don't know what a painful soda is until you have RC Cola.
Of course
That's
I've had
a
RC
painful
Cola.
soda.
I lived in Idaho. That's all the Mormons drink because they're like, it doesn't have caffeine.
Mormons, RC Cola and moon pies.
My
That's
favorite,
all they got.
I think one of my favorite thing about Mormon parents is like a lot of them, especially like, and once again, whenever I like come out with Mormon prejudices, I'm like targeting the people that live in Utah, Idaho, and Oregon. And I'm like, like the rest of the Mormon population is pretty chill. But like a lot of the Utah Mormons, they have their kids and they're like, no, don't drink caffeine. Caffeine's bad. Here, take this Adderall. And it's like,
Are the Utah which state has the Mormons that like to have multiple wives?
okay, now let's clarify here. Actually, a lot of states have excommunicated Mormons that do it. I think Idaho, and they're actually not even called LDS anymore. They're called like the Children of Christ because they believe they still have to have Jesus' name in the name of their religion, or else it's not a real Christian sect.
Of course. You have to remind yourself who you worship, otherwise it's not real.
All right, asshole. But
What?
but once you get south of Orem, you get to like Cedar City and stuff like that. And if I recall, that is where the quote unquote FLDS compounds are. And what's really jarring, when I worked at a computer repair shop in Utah, I had two of my coworkers that were uncle and nephew because they grew up in a polygamous commune, and both of them got out. And this is great. Both of them got out. Both of them now hate organized religion and hate Mormons, despite the fact that their religion's a joke and isn't even close to Mormonism. It's just polygamy with extra steps hiding under a religious blanket. These guys, both of them hate, they hate like religion and whatnot. And both of them swear they hate FLDS because they made them polygamous and whatnot. And one of them the other day came out on Facebook in a complicated relationship because him and his girlfriend both have another girlfriend. And I'm just like,
Nice.
I'm like, all right, so you want to come full circle here, dickhead?
I don't know shit about religion, man. I keep myself way like 8 steps removed, bro. I don't.
I mean, yeah, you don't even fucking apparently know what Taco Bell is, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah, everyone knows Taco Bell is the most substantial religious establishment in the United States of A.
According to Demolition Man, it is.
Yeah, Demolition Man!
According
Best
to
movie ever
Demolition
made.
Man, Wesley Snipes guarantees that Taco Bell wins the fast food wars of 2032.
Hell yeah, I cannot wait.
We're only 12 years out.
So like, okay, is where you live, like, you live in a college town, don't you, Frog?
I live in a fucking hole.
Just like Frog is just in a Junji Ito comic and he's been screaming at us to get out for the last 6 months.
I have to say it in rhyme.
It's like, my little brother literally turned into a snail and crawled inside a rice patty maker. Like, please guys, get me out.
Oh, Frog, you fucking kook.
Yeah, you're so
You
silly.
crazy Canadian with your Junji Ito eyes.
He's over here. He's like, I'm literally turning into a froggy chair, guys. Stop.
I am popping my pustules in the face of a pretty pop star as we speak.
That was like the most erotic thing I've ever seen in an anime.
I don't.
Ooh.
Wait, what's that?
Don't like that.
No, don't say what's that, because then he might explain. Don't.
It's
I know you were just
you know
making
what?
a funny
like,
alliteration joke, and then you said it was from a thing?
I think
Yeah,
I've,
that's from Spiral. That's from the same comic as
I think
the
I think I've
Junji
had
Ito
this
comic.
hot take before, but Junji Ito
Uzumaki.
to me is literally the Stephen King of Japanese literature. He has like 2 to 3 really good stories. In this case, Pet Sematary and Kingdom Hospital and Misery. And then everybody blows all of his other works way out of the pool they belong into because those 3 are good.
I don't know, man. The Stand is pretty great, and it's literally about a man, a demon, a shape-shifting demon that spreads a fucking death virus. And what can we have to relate to in this world more than a virus that's slowly killing old people?
Oh man, speaking of which, remember how I said like 2 months ago that, hey, Medicare reset and my job is slowed down and I don't have to fix as much medical equipment anymore?
Ha ha!
Well, China didn't like that and dabbed on me.
Yeah, China listens to the podcast. The entire country.
It's
of
crazy.
China said,
You think we
"Fuck
got
you."
more views on it now, but like, they all listen on one television.
Every single one of them
they
is
download
just...
it-
They all gather
You know,
around a
this is-
campfire once every 2 weeks and just go like, "Whoa, is that
These
racist?
are all
I'm
the guys
racist."
that I talk- These are all the guys that I talk smack to on freaking PUBG and call dirty hackers. Like, they come and just bomb our podcast.
They literally hacked the immune system of the greater American
You play
population.
PUBG in
Just to fuck with
2020?
you.
Yes, because at the end of the day, Fortnite...
Fucking,
No, like...
he made us play that weird fucking
Cutscene,
Aztec
right?
fucking game.
God, that
he's
sucks.
he's horny for the PUBGs.
Well, no, like, you gotta understand. Fortnite, I really, really liked before it became a Battle Royale, so I kind of hate that it became a Battle Royale, because pre-Fortnite was a lot of fun.
never played that.
The new Call of Duty Modern Warfare Battle Royale, it's okay. It's alright.
I tried that one.
And I what's funny is I've never lost in the Gulag, but the reality that you have to deal with is when you're in the Gulag, you realize that no matter how many people you kill, half of them are going to come back and kick your dick in.
Yeah.
Well, if my political ideals become cromulent, you will all be in the gulag. Fuck you all.
I will shotgun my way out of the Gulag, Mike. But
Yeah,
no,
the Gulag
I like
a little
PUBG.
differently in that one that does in the real world, I think. It's
Actually,
it's just a 1v1 arena.
Actually, I have to say my favorite battle royale to this day is Ring of Elysium. And the reason for that is because nobody competitively plays Ring of Elysium, so you have a bunch of people who are like mid-tier, like okay kind of. And Mike's over here frantically typing it. He's like, "What the hell is Ring
That's
of
me.
Elysium?" Oh,
Hell
hey,
no,
like, originally it was supposed to be, hey, you guys are trying to escape a polar vortex, and you gotta, like, ride snowboards, and you gotta use, like, hang gliders to
Hell
get around
yeah.
the map. Well, like, halfway, like, 6 months in, they're like, okay, you know what everybody really likes? They really like Attack on Titan. And they just put, like, the belts from Attack on Titan in the game. And now you can...
okay, that's pretty good.
Now
Awesome.
you can, like, no-scope a dude while, like, spinning around a tree in the game. It's just the dumbest thing on the planet.
Dude, you know what would actually be pretty fucking dope? A fucking Attack on Titan battle royale.
We had
Where
that.
the
It was
fucking-
called Evolve.
The ring closing in is just the fucking walls collapsing. That'd be actually pretty dope.
Yeah, it's yeah. I liked Ring of Elysium. If you're gonna play a battle royale game, that one's my favorite.
I don't think anyone should play a battle royale.
I think some
game.
battle royale. Actually, I can plug my own new battle royale game right now that I made now. Go play Bomber
Is it-
Grounds.
I was gonna say, is it the Bomberman?
It's
clone?
sick. It's just Bomberman, but it's 25 players. That's all it is. It's great.
That actually does sound pretty.
It's fun.
Bomberman's insane.
Bomberman's really fun,
But-
and you can just play it with 25 people. There's actually added a new move, which is you can kick the bombs around and like kind of have some strategy with that. It's cool.
Congrats, we're officially in 1992.
Yeah, it's crazy. I de-aged into inverted. I'm like negative how many years? -6.
So,
Don't make me.
you know, like
cold.
fun story. We're gonna go on a slight tirade here again. Growing up, a lot of my childhood is kind of hazy, like between being sexually groomed online in Yahoo chat rooms and then getting sexually groomed online in Gaia online forums. Like, I don't really remember a whole lot about my childhood, but I do remember being 8 years old, and it's like 11 o'clock at night, and my dad kicks the ever-living, like, he just like kicks open the door and starts shaking the bunk that I'm sleeping on, because I slept on a bunk bed even though I had my room to myself.
I did that
I
too
thought
as a
it'd be
kid,
cool.
actually.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's cool to sleep on the top bunk.
It transcends
And, like,
I
generations.
slept on the bottom bunk and pretended it was a cave.
He's like violently shaking the bunk, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" He's like, "We have to go. We have to go now."
I
And I'm
remember
like, Dad, what's happening?
Wait.
And he like drags me out of my bedroom, throws me in his truck, and we drive 45 minutes into town because I lived in the middle of nowhere. And we go to CompUSA at 11:30 at night. And my dad, I'm like, "What are we doing, Dad?" He's like, "We have to get 98." And I was like, "What is going on?" He's like, 98. It's the first operating system to not use DOS. And I'm like, "Dad, what is happening?" He's like, 98. And I swear my dad has never been a light person. At like 5'11", he's 230 pounds. He was the skinniest dude in line that day. And it's just, I remember, the reason I tell this story is I remember it's 1998 and they're all waiting for like the launch of Windows 98. As a kid, I don't understand this. So I go over to the display computers and they have Bomberman on them, like the new Windows 98 Bomberman. And like, the whole time my father is like getting in boxing matches with other neckbeards over these physical copies of Windows 98. I'm just in my corner like playing Bomberman 98. I'm like, these graphics are so good on the Radeon X1300.
This just proves that the stereotype of people who care too much about their computers has been accurate and timeless.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just, yeah, yeah, that's my like favorite childhood memory though, is like this borderline trauma of my father throwing hands to own Windows 98.
That is incredibly depressing, but same.
That's also my
best
happiest memory.
memories
I
are,
choose
like,
that one.
Wait, what? Your happiest memory is my memory?
Yeah, I choose that one now. That's mine.
Frog's happiest memory is like one day the sun completely came up over the hole and there was not a single shadow.
For just one brief moment, I could see God.
Frog is the groundhog that determines whether or not it is spring or
My
winter.
mom made that same fucking joke the other day.
Well, you look like a damn groundhog with your hair. Like,
I
geez.
think I'm deciding to grow it out and ponytail it because it's actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it is.
So you can be
Join
like
the
every
fucking
other
club.
polygamist white dude, or
Polygamous?
polyamorous white dude.
I don't.
Man, that's not.
I have
funny.
trouble
I
getting
was-
like monoamorous, bro. Like,
Well, no, polyamory is easy because it tends to be predators of both genders preying on people with low self-esteem.
I don't know.
So, like,
Let's move on.
you'll get a girlfriend, but you're not allowed to have another girlfriend, and she's allowed to have 3 boyfriends.
I'm just not gonna be in that
Don't-
relationship if that makes me uncomfortable, which it does.
Don't worry, Frog. Just eventually you'll marry me so that I can become a Canadian citizen,
Pog.
and I'll let you be the big spoon.
By the way,
I'm
Mike,
tiny.
that was probably like the most depressing story I've ever heard. Is that one you told on Twitter that one time where you're like, one time I got bit by a brown recluse and I couldn't afford to go to the hospital.
It's
so
real,
3 weeks
though.
later, with my leg falling off, I walked to the hospital, said my name was Michelangelo Sanchez, gave them a fake address, and then proceeded to get antibiotics I never paid for.
That's
Well, I had to pay.
Pog
I had to go to I had to pay for the antibiotics because you had to get them from a pharmacy. But they're only antibiotics are actually not expensive. They're cheap.
They're like $8 for what you need.
Yes, I was gonna say $8. That's all.
You could have picked a name that's a little further from yours.
I whenever I was okay. So my appearance, you need to understand, my appearance through the ages has been when I was a young child, I looked Asian. Whenever I was an old teen, I looked Hispanic, and now I look like a Native American, which is the closest to what I am.
So now it's even better. You could just go to the hospital and say, "My name is Running Foot." Like,
I'm not even fucking with you.
like
In,
just
elementary
honestly
school,
have like a casino matchbox and just like
in
use that as your
elementary
idea.
school,
idea.
it was very common for the kids because I
One
got
second.
teased a lot because I was fat.
1 sec.
They would.
He's dead.
Moth,
He's gonna get killed.
with,
There's someone here to assassinate him right now. It's crazy. Keep going.
Sorry, I had to let the dogs out because they were just fighting under
Why would
me.
your dog be there to kill you?
No, they were just. Go ahead.
Someone
Sorry,
has
Mike.
to. So in elementary school, it was incredibly fucking common because I was picked on a lot because I was fat and I have poor communication skills. Surprisingly,
See, I was just picked on because I was autistic as hell, and I thought it was normal to have pictures of pregnant Hamtaro kids on your binder.
I was picked on by my teacher.
Same. The way that the kids though chose to like make fun of me, like the easiest way, because kids they're lazy. They'll jump to the easiest way they can to rack on you. Because I looked Chinese, dead ass. Anytime like the kids wanted to make fun of me, like entire classes would do this all at once. They just fucking draw their fucking eyes to where they're slits and be like, "Hey, Chinese boy." It's like, what the fuck? Like, man. I was like so mad about that as a child, not because I was getting made fun of. Be like, I'm not Chinese.
You guys aren't even doing this right.
You can't even be racist right, you dumbass.
At least it also reminds me of the first. I don't think I've ever told anyone this story. So I was made fun of a lot for being fat as well.
Yeah.
And this was probably first grade. There was this black girl, and she was going around the class and handing out the work that we're doing for that little time. And she like very gingerly handed me mine and then rushed away. And I just dead ass yelled as loud as I could, "You're racist against fat people!" And my fucking teacher had to pull me aside, and that's the day I learned what racism is.
All right.
I had the cops called on me for 10th grade for telling a black girl to give me my TV back.
Oh.
That's on brand, though, so that's okay.
No,
it doesn't make it okay. It just makes it on brand.
Well, so this was, you have to realize, I went from
Why would the cops get called on you, though? It just seems like a suspension.
Well, it was the dumbest story. I'll tell it. I was going to tell the story of when I, like, autistically wandered around a medical facility until security was called on me, but I'll tell this story instead. So and this is not excusing my behavior. I realize that I have been a very kind of negative person a lot in my life, and it's been a very stupid struggle to try and fix it.
Moth is an edgy boy.
I grew up with a father who just, I know every racist book or like joke in the book. I can tell you every racist joke in the book. No question asked. I can tell you every single one.
I'm waiting.
I'm not going to. But that's what we would do is we would drive for like hours as a kid, and he would take me to these job sites that were hours away, and the whole time he'd be like, he would have a terrible joke I won't repeat because I don't want to get this podcast delisted. But basically, you know, and then I went to Idaho where the entire minority population is 3% and everybody's white. And so, like, I'm sitting here in class one day and I had a Latino friend and he was a really cool guy. And there was a black girl who was just sassing him one day. Like, she just decided to pick a fight with him and she was calling him all sorts of horrible things. She was like, "Yeah, you're not going to say anything, are you? Because you're a dirty wetback." And, like, just yelling at him. Like, you know, I'm kind of getting offended because he's kind of quiet and he's in the art class because he's like, he really enjoys spray painting and stuff like that. And I'm getting really, really mad because she's just bullying him and I don't know why. And so I look at her, I'm like, "Hey, could you stop talking shit until you give him his TV back?"
It's a bad way to do it.
She walked out of the class, and then, like, the next time I'm in class, the school security guard, like, pulled me aside and is like, "Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that." I'm like, she was bullying my friend. Like, he wasn't standing up for himself. And the security guard, like, looked at my buddy, and he's like, "Was she bullying you?" And he's like, "Yeah, she was saying some really hurtful things." And the guy looked at me and goes, "All right, cool. Next time, don't be racist when you stand up for him."
There you go.
Yeah,
he's got it right.
And I was like, "Okay."
You tried to use racism for good.
Your heart was in the right place.
Just like how we're locking down imports from China. It's racism for good.
So, I gotta really ask, because Frog, you're smart, and Moth, you're paranoid. I have to. What does coronavirus do?
It's the flu.
It's kind of like a flu. It's like a really bad flu, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then why the fuck is it that I go to the fucking Wally World and all of the goddamn toilet paper's gone?
Because one of the side effects is dysentery. Okay, actually, Mike, I have an answer for you because I was considering this the other day. So remember that whole thing about like our parents told us not to believe everything we see on TV, and now the joke is like boomers share more fake news articles than any other demographic.
Yeah.
I actually think because I was in Cars the other day, which I realize you live in the East Coast.
Shit, you were in the movie Cars?
That's crazy.
Yes.
How'd you get in?
I was eating beans. Yeah, but like you actually, if you freeze frame the scene where he's like wearing the night vision goggles with like the ex-Vietnam vet car, you can actually see me eating like rationed beans in the back, like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction.
You're the last human in
exactly.
the bug universe of Cars.
Yeah, it's you know, they don't tell you this, but those cars do not clean out their tailpipes, and you really got to rinse afterwards.
Anyway, you were in some place called Cars.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what the equivalent of Cars would be for you living in like the Alabama area. Do you know what Winco is?
No.
Give me like a supermarket that's not Walmart or Costco.
Sobeys.
Yeah, Sobeys. So
He knows what it is.
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea, but Mike is pulling a
It's a
blank
supermarket.
here, so.
Whatever.
Yeah, in Canada.
I am pulling a fucking thing now, but Kroger.
Okay, perfect. Kroger.
I don't get it.
So I was in Cars, and Cars is basically the Kroger or the Sobe of
You could just say
Alaska.
Walmart.
No, Cars. It was Cars. No, because Walmart's a problem. So Walmart and Costco are a problem in this scenario. So I was at Cars the other day, and I was like, oh, I could use a couple of extra packs of 2-ply. Like, I could use some cereal. I could use some bottled water. Hey, and some bananas. Why not, right? Well, I'm sitting here, and this is like Saturday, right before all the stores start closing because of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
And it's fine. There's 20 cars in the parking lot. And then my mom calls me while I'm walking through, and she's like, don't come to Costco, Moth. It's a madhouse. People are swinging. People are fighting. And I realized it, and it's not actually that big of a deal, but the boomers are freaking out. And it's because the boomers, they shop at Costco, they shop at Walmart. Like, they love those supermarkets, like those value surplus stores. So nobody is actually panicking. If you go to a grocery store that most people shop at that aren't a boomer, everything is still in stock.
See, you gotta, like, there's something that might work in Alaska. It might even work in Canada. I live in Arkansas, and that is literally where Walmart's from.
Well, you're just gonna hoard up in a Golden Corral.
We have one Kroger, and then 4 other supermarkets, and those other 4 supermarkets are all Walmart.
Well, like, Walmart started in Arkansas, so you don't really get to say anything. Like, you and Sam's Club.
Yeah, well, I mean, Sam's Club was...
Yeah, Sammy Walden.
Sam Walton.
Yeah.
Not Sammy. No one calls him Sammy.
Yeah, that's why they call the place Sammy's.
I don't get it.
Anyway,
Mike.
Coronavirus.
Do you have a Wawa's?
What?
No.
You don't have a Wawa's?
What the fuck is that?
No.
You don't have a Wawa's?
That is an East Coast thing.
Yeah, Arkansas is the East Coast.
I thought it was south.
Arkansas
is southeast. It's like right there next to Florida.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's like between Florida and Texas.
No. Moth has a vague idea of where Arkansas is, and he's
right by
vaguely
Louisiana.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, so it's between Florida and Texas.
No. I mean, it is in a technical sense, but there are a lot of space between Florida and Texas.
Okay.
I don't really know much about
Christ.
geography.
All right, have you ever eaten at a Wawa's?
I don't know what that is.
It's
all right.
It's just a really nice convenience store. It's like it's like a Japanese convenience store. It's not Japanese.
It's not Japanese. What are you talking about? That's 7-Eleven.
Shh. It's like a Japanese style convenience store in that there is quality stuff in there.
It's Japanese. It's like the motherboard manufacturers. We soldered this motherboard with Japanese caps. We're not going to tell you what company manufactured it, but it's Japanese capacitors. Like,
I don't.
No.
I just don't follow, man.
Mike, It's just a fast food joint that you can get subs.
It's not even a fast food joint.
It's a gas station that you could buy subs at, like Subway, without the pedophiles.
It's a
child safe Subway.
I mean, they
what?
cleaned their hands of that a little while ago. Speaking of which, clean your hands.
Yeah, like How are you guys holding up under Corona? Are you guys like actually like?
I'm compromised. I'm going to die in 4 days.
Nice.
You remember my whole rant about the mayor of Anchorage wants to be the mayor of San Francisco?
I don't get it.
Yeah. He just banned all public gatherings exceeding 50 people, which really sucks because never mind. I'm not gonna make that joke. But
I feel like it's a wise thing to do, to be honest.
Yeah, you're right. Like, but the gym, my gym closed at 5 p.m. yesterday and will not reopen until April 1st, unless this mayor
What a joke!
It's making me mad. Like, I have to use my treadmill in my back room that I haven't used in over a year now.
Just do what do they call them? What's the thing that you do? And you want to work out in your home?
Just do what I do and eat a low-calorie diet and sit on your ass all day.
Because I am this close to having a six-pack, Mike.
It's like,
do you know how close I am to being a Link cosplayer?
Isn't there like a thing you can do that's just like exercise that does like everything for you?
Yeah, it's
burpees
called body weight exercise, like where you use your own body weight against you. But you know what that is?
Yeah.
That's for inmates and like college kids.
But it works.
And I'm neither.
That's for the main character of that Korean movie I watched a few weeks ago.
Speaking of which, yeah, you're going to talk about, well, no, that's way down on the docket. I ain't talking about that.
Yeah, hold off. Whoa, we're still talking about the coronavirus.
Yeah, that's like, I'm looking at our docket right now. That's the first thing on the docket.
I mean, we've sprinkled in some other stuff in there, so like we're good.
All right.
Frog, how's the corona treating you up there in the Great North?
It's real good, Jim. It's just doing fine and dandy. I don't know. I can't tell. I haven't been outside.
Has like your school been?
Oh, absolutely. I have online classes starting tomorrow as of recording this. So.
Okay. I back in my day when a fucking pandemic hit. Class was canceled and you gotta take a break.
I don't want to take... I'm paying for this.
Yeah. Well, wait, you're paying for college in Canada?
It's not
free.
We're not socialist.
Canada.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah. It should be free. But
Thanks, Biden.
Thanks, Barbo.
You know, it's... Oh, man, it's... I don't know. Never mind. I'm not even gonna risk it.
The only like public thing we have here that's like... We're like one of the least sock-damn countries of the sock-damn country. All we have is healthcare.
That's okay.
That's the big one. Yeah. Granted, it's the big one.
Yeah, that's okay.
But it's the only one, pretty much. We also have some more social
Frog,
systems.
you mean people's basic like health needs are met? That's pretty.
We also have more. Like, I think we have more welfare stuff. But yeah, other than
that. Here in Arkansas, it's we've only gotten 6. Well, last time I checked was yesterday. We had 16 confirmed cases, but like 2 days before that, we had like 3 confirmed cases. So we're about to get hit.
You know what's? Oh, sorry.
Our shop has been. We haven't like been hit yet. Although 2 of our guys have been calling in out of fear, and my managers are talking about firing them. Even though it's perfectly rational to be afraid of getting in a public service job, it's completely irrational to be afraid of getting fucking coronavirus.
Yeah. Service workers right now have the worst, to be honest.
You're like assuming that, you know, these. Never mind. I'm refusing us to go into this conversation.
Oh, I am not assuming that managerial staff in a corporation would ever care about the filthy pools.
Dude, I can tell you the weird stuff that happened to me in computer repair. Like,
I would rather hear about some.
If you want your soul to be completely crushed, just do computer repair, like, and not in a like the work sucks kind of way, because the work is easy. Like, either you fix it or you nuke the computer and just reinstall Windows. Like, that's 90% of problems that don't require hardware. But like the amount of child porn you have to report to the cops.
Oh God, really?
Like, If anybody is ever calling your shop after dropping off your computer and asking every single day what the status of your computer is, there is a 100% chance that dude is like wanting his porn back.
So what you're saying is, if you're a pedophile, get into computer repair and just have field day.
What kind of idiot?
We
doesn't
absolutely
delete
mark you
that
out.
before putting it.
Well, because technically we have to sign a level of discretion. It's something where it's like we're not supposed to snoop on a computer.
Yeah.
But when a doctor puts his patient's folders on his desktop and violates the HIPAA agreements, no.
I just wanted to laugh about my one patient's weird cancer shape. That's normal?
Here's the thing, and bear in mind, I'm not condoning child porn here, but if you have child porn on your computer and you don't want to get caught, the very last thing you should do is tell people that you have sensitive files on your computer and not to look for them.
If you have child porn on your computer and it gets corrupted, you should not say, I should contact a third party to fix this. You should say, well, guess I should find some more child porn instead.
One of the requirements we have at my shop is before a computer can come online, because like they all plug into the switch at my shop, you had to boot up the computer to make sure like no startup programs are running that would go into the network. This one guy didn't even tell us what was wrong with his computer. He's like, yeah, I can't open up any web browsers or anything. I boot up the computer, and my station, we had this shop that was like an old, like, I don't know, it was like an old refrigerator sales store or something, like microwave sales shop. And so like all of our desks are like kind of out in the open, and we have these long benches where we set these computers down on. So everything on these computers are on display for everyone to see. And I boot up this computer while my coworker is like showing a 12-year-old and his mom how cool he can make a Minecraft rig. And in speakers, because it was an all-in-one. It was a flat screen all-in-one desktop. The thing boots up and immediately just starts blasting porn.
Was it Vor?
No, it was not Vor. It was just, generic... where they have to like redub it because there's too much farting going on in the original cut.
Nice. That's my favorite kind of porn.
The one where they have to redub it?
Yes, because you get to like... I like cartoonish... Maybe it's because of my autism, but I like cartoonish reactions to things. So like the extra reactions, like it gets my weird penis going.
I mean, honestly, if I get my porn from Japan, I have to have it dubbed, because if Clint Eastwood isn't doing the voice acting, I just can't get hard.
How much does he like fucking, do you have to pay him to do porn acting?
I don't think you'd have to pay him. You just have to tell him it's like him doing another movie about black people trying to break into his house, and he'll just go all out.
You gotta tell me, punk. Did I come 4 times or 5? Well... Do you feel lucky?
I kind of want to get Mel Gibson to dub porn now.
I'm coming on them sugar tits.
He's just monologuing about how he got in character for William Wallace. You know what a lot of people don't know is I had to go to Scotland and kill a bunch of Smurfs to get the blue paint. Because Smurfs, you don't think they bleed blue, but why is their skin blue if they don't bleed blue?
All right, Mel, just come inside me already. You don't have to talk about Smurfs again.
No, you don't understand. I can't come unless we're under a kiddie pool talking about how the Jews run Hollywood.
So Vor.
That's a thing. In some parts of the world.
Well, there are weird fetishes that people have, and as I understand it, there is a few that we don't understand. And one of them is Moth's, and that is Vor. And I wonder, and I agree with you, but also maybe being eaten's not so bad.
No.
I mean,
so I'm gonna send a video
death
to
unless you get chomped.
Yeah, like unless I mean, gosh, you see what happens to the people who don't get digested in Attack on Titan?
He's right.
I did that. That's episode 6, I believe.
5 or 6, yeah. One of the earlier ones.
But yeah, like actually,
just
it's
big
when
old gelatin balls.
Yeah, So I was on Newgrounds the other day, and I'd seen a video back in December called like Vor Quest, and it was some dude's like senior animation final, and it was so borderline like Ren and Stimpy in its insanity, that it just it was so like, even though it was a Vor video, it was just so bizarre that like I had to go find it again. And so I'm thinking to myself on Newgrounds, I'm like, oh, I'll just type in Vor and select the video search. And, you know, I'll find it immediately. And I had to go through like 2 pages of Crystal Fox POV Vor. And like Tinkerbell and Ariel, the Little Mermaid, like boofing Vor, where they put you in the butt, not in the mouth. Before I found this video, and I was just like, what is going on? What is my life?
So I don't like Vor, but I think it's a very weird fetish. I can kind of understand it though, depending on which version, because there's two basic types of Vor. Okay, there's the fetish of wanting to be someone inside of you, and there's the fetish of wanting to be inside someone. I can kind of understand the wanting to eat someone, because, like, there's sensation there. But what reverse pregnation person wants to be inside of another person? Unless it's like womb play, I guess. Wow, we're going really down there.
Yeah, we're going wait, I always forget that these fetishes exist.
Okay,
it kind of just reminds me of that scene.
I had to come back for womb play. I'm sorry. That is
well, no, I just remember that episode of The Simpsons where, like, I don't remember, but like Marge does something horrible and Ralph Wiggum just runs up to his mom. It's like, I want to go back into mommy, and just like starts throwing himself under her dress.
Oh god, dude.
Oh god. The fucking writer's thinly disguised fetish.
Whenever,
oh my gosh,
womb play. That sentence is fucking me up a little bit.
I don't.
Dude,
that just makes me think of like
fetishes are fucking weird.
Prolapses and shit.
Oh, prolapse are so weird
I hate
too.
those.
I think I just have this like horrible dream that I woke up from one day where I was. It was funny because in the dream I was watching porn and some girl gets pink socked and somebody walks on set and steps on it and trips and breaks his neck. And I vividly remember that dream like 2 years later. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
You wake up, shame sweats. No cum, obviously, just shame sweat.
Just there's poop in the bed. It was the prolapse that was inside you the whole time until it wasn't.
There's blood in that box.
I can, okay, prolapse I can kind of understand.
How can you understand this, Mike?
Oh my god.
But that's the thing, it's like fucking someone like so hard that it destroys
I understand
them.
it.
No!
But the concept of someone actually looking at it and being like, is
Alright, I'm gonna shame both you right now. Are you a virgin, Mike?
What?
Mike, are you a virgin?
No, I've had sex.
Okay. Then this is a little weird. What about you, Frog?
No. As of very recently.
Oh, that's why you're single.
What?
Nothing. But, no, it's like, it's just, there's a difference, and a lot of people have to realize this. There's a difference between what these insane fantasies you see on the TV can be, or like the computer, because I guess we're in 2020 and not 1993 trying to see the boob scene from Terminator 2.
What are you talking about? I still masturbate to magazines.
Are you kidding me? I pull up Starship Troopers just for the shower scenes.
But I remember there being a review for
nice
Project Cross Zone on the TV one time, and I would look up that video and see like some girl's tits boobing around. I'm like, whoa!
But like, there's a huge difference between that and like an actual intimate relationship.
Gay.
And I'm the married one. Eat a dick.
I don't get it.
I'm saying like these insane fetishes that we have to like draw because it's not physically feasible anymore is just mind blowing.
Hey, I don't want to hear about it, Mr. German Man, with your... The one fetish I don't understand comes from your people, and it's fucking scat porn, you fucking weirdos.
What's wrong with having sex with a woman and the whole time just being like,
the scat man. I hate you so much.
You ever see that video of like the VTuber doing it? The VTuber doing that song?
Wait, what? Oh gosh, VTubers. Apparently, there's a mommy dom VTuber that I cannot find anymore.
Yeah, probably.
You should, if you ever find her, you should send it to me.
It was like one time I saw a video where it was just like, "Oh, you don't want to wake up? Cool, I'll crawl back under the covers with you." And then my wife walked into the room and I threw my phone across the room. I was like, "Nope."
Is that like the Eve one?
I don't know. Like, I'll type in
might
VTuber
know
Eve
that
and we'll
one.
see.
Look up Eve channel. I think it's the one it's called. It's like a demon lady.
No.
Man,
she was definitely human.
VTubers are fine and everything, but what about Love Live girls?
What about him?
No.
What about the Mio Honda?
That's not Love Live.
Why is it that when I typed in mommy VTuber, I just get Ryan's room?
What? Who is that?
What the fuck is that?
The Ryan's World, sorry.
I don't get
I still don't know what that is.
The super rich child whose parents keep pimping him out to get toy deals so they can make millions of dollars and retire while the child ends up the next Macaulay Culkin.
Toy reviewer guy.
Yeah.
Child.
Yeah, the child who now has his own breakfast cereal. I don't even have a breakfast cereal.
I don't even have any cereal.
Cool.
Mio Honda.
Oh, okay. It has 158,000 views. I was like, how does a Ryan's World video only have like... Gosh. All right, what are we talking about?
Mio
Honda. The meme song that I've loved since before everyone else has started loving it. But
I just heard about it because of it, so I'm pretty happy.
Now, bear in mind, Mike thinks Persona 3 has the best soundtrack out of the Persona games. So
that's because it does.
No, it absolutely does not. Persona 4 Golden is leagues ahead.
Who cares?
Persona 4 Golden can Persona go fuck itself because Persona 3 has fucking lotus juice.
Oh yeah,
the sweetest baps I've ever heard.
Persona 3 may be the only game in existence where I don't want to have sex with the robot. So like, what does that
I
tell
will
you?
literally marathon fuck anyone that listening to this to a Persona 3 soundtrack song. Any of them, including the sad ones. You want to fucking...
By the way, Mike's definition of a marathon is a 30-second mile.
Actually, I last way too long sexually. It's made it to the point. And this is not a joke. I do not enjoy sex because it takes me too long to come. Just fucking hate it.
It's a pogger
moment. Get the fish hooks. It's over. Just get the fish hooks. Here, talk about eating me. It's not working. I say something sexy. Talk about your womb. Talk about how you want me in the womb. At this point,
I have to think about baseballs and grandmas just to come.
Baseballs and grandmas?
I have to think about that sexy gremlin from Gremlin 2 that cross-dressed.
I mean, I'm thinking about her right now. Monster girls really are the superior girl.
Monster girls are pretty good.
I told my wife, I'm like, if like, because my wife and I actually have an agreement that we are supportive of each other in our body goals. And so, like, the other day, I'm like, the moment we get subdermal body armor, I'm signing up for it, right? And she was weird. She's totally okay with it.
As soon as I can become closer to a bug, I'm going to go for it, babe.
You know what? Literally, like, if you dropped like a devil fruit in front of me and you're like, it's an insect devil fruit, but I won't tell you which one, I would eat it no matter what.
Fucking turn into a pill bug.
Are you kidding me? Like, I'd be indestructible. I'd be like a cooler Sonic. I'd be like,
you'd also be easily frightened and you have panic attacks all the time.
Just roll down the street into traffic, but I'm impervious while I'm panicking.
And also you can't swim, so when you land in the fucking ocean, you're fucked.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like, unfortunately, Alaska, the next time we have an earthquake, we are an island.
Why the fuck? I fuck One Piece, okay? The concept that there's a superpower fucking fruit.
Raunchy whore.
There's a superpower fucking fruit, and then you eat it, you can't swim anymore in a pirate show, and it's also something that they've occasionally like worked around it story wise.
Well,
so
no.
dumb.
Wait, you don't. So I realize I'm the only one in the entire group who actually watches One Piece.
Oh well, yeah, actively.
But like they've actually referenced a lot that the world used to be a lot more solid continents than it is now, and that devil fruits were basically controlling the world. And so as a response to it, they basically blew up the continents and turned them all into smaller islands to keep the power of the devil fruits from basically conquering the world again.
I don't get it,
Hey,
but I
that's
probably have
cool.
to read it.
I have no issue with devil fruits existing in One Piece. I just think it's really dumb that there's that superpower fruits in a pirate show that make it so you can't swim, but also occasionally they'll just find a way to subvert that aspect of it. I hate it.
Well, we've only seen a couple of guys do it. Like the ice fruit can do it, the light fruit can do it, the string fruit can do it, but like there are clearly grounded fruits that can't do it. Like, and even the guys who can do it had to master the ability. Like, sure, if there's a fruit that makes you fly, there's nothing anyone can do to stop you. But like, generally, if your fruit allows you to fly, it's not that powerful. Like the propeller fruit, where it literally just turns your neckbeard into a propeller.
So like Rayman.
I thought like
Yes.
Yeah.
I was imagining like you eat it and then like it fucking morphs your fucking limbs into like weird fucking propeller shapes, an agonizing show of pain. That'd be a good show.
Like, please, I don't want to spin anymore. I just want to die.
Is that like Fire Punch for people who like helicopters?
Oh fuck! I need to get back to reading Fire
Same.
Punch.
I haven't started it yet, but I want to
Fire
read it
Punch
because I like Chainsaw Man so much, and the same guy.
Yeah, it's really the first chapter. You should at least read the first chapter.
I'm definitely gonna read like most of it once I'm caught up on Chainsaw Man again.
The first chapter's insane.
Mike, Mio Honda.
Oh, we're back on this.
I love
we're-
her, and
Okay.
I support her, and she's the only Idol Master.
Idolmaster.
She's the only Idol Master girl I care about. Although
No, I like the one
there's
with the
a Idol
pink girl because
Master.
everyone's horny for her, and so am I.
Oh, she's Idol Master. I didn't know that.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
she
she's
is.
also Idolmaster. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
I like
Idol Master.
Rimuru too. Then
Rihanna,
because she
I
goes
think.
wah.
Yeah. She does go way.
There is
There's an Idol Master
entirely-
song that's literally just the girls singing about how much they like hamburgers, and that's a bop.
Okay, so maybe it's not so
There
bad.
there is one idol in my entire life that I've ever liked, and that is the geisha from Zombieland Saga.
She's nice. I'll give you that.
Okay, Zombieland
That's
Saga
it.
was okay.
And honestly, if she wasn't a zombie, I wouldn't care.
No, she's got that RR energy, dog. If she wasn't a zombie, I would like her even more because it would mean that she wouldn't smell in sexy times when she's doing my 4 p.m. Cock squishing.
Got that rotten pussy.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that meme?
Got that
like,
maggot
there
pussy.
are memes. There are memes that I genuinely find funny, and maybe this just has to do with my racist upbringing. But like, the "can't have anything in Detroit" meme. Like, I love that meme.
I don't get it.
What?
I don't.
You haven't seen the "can't have anything in Detroit" meme?
This might just be exclusively a meme in racist circles.
No, I've seen it on other Discords, like Discords that we're all on.
I don't know this.
Like generally the joke is like, the Doge pictures, like where you see all the
Doge?
pictures of Doge.
Are you talking
whatever.
about
you
crime
fucking
statistics?
Philistine.
But it's no, I'm not talking about the crime statistics, but it's a picture of the couch without Doge in it, and it's just like, they stole the Doge. Can't have anything in Detroit.
It's Doge, you
I've
Philistine.
never seen this.
Or the one where it's just a blank PNG background. It's like, they stole my meme. I can't have anything in Detroit.
Never heard of this.
Oh, yeah.
Or like
I've
an
never. I
apartment
get
complex.
the meme, but I've never seen it before.
Or like the apartment complex where the stairs are missing. They're like, they stole my stoop. I can't have anything in Detroit.
That's an all right meme format. I've
Yeah.
never seen it before.
Me neither.
Okay, but then like all of a sudden the babe, it's 4 p.m. time for your dick squishing, like dick flattening. Like all the spin-offs of that meme have been really funny. Like, babe, or Bernie, it's 2024, time for you to run for president again. Like
I'm so
those
tired.
memes I get, but like the babe, it's 4 p.m. time for like dick flattening.
Yeah, it's funny.
Maybe
It's
because
fun.
I've actually seen dick flattening, and I wouldn't wish that
I've
upon
seen
my
it
worst
too,
enemy.
but it's funny.
Well, it involves two
I mean, I figured you'd be all
plexiglass
about.
plates.
Yeah, I know. We've all seen the picture, I'm sure.
And then like you got
I
like,
have
the
it,
four
and I don't
screws,
plan to ever
Yeah,
see
don't worry
it.
about it.
And you got like the 4 screws they have to like crank down into place.
Can we not describe it?
No, we're
Because
describing this.
I plan on having curry ramen after this, and I don't want to.
Hey, can we try for a coherent thought real quick?
What's that?
I know it's kind of out of it's kind of like out of order, but something near and dear to me, and I'm really glad we're recording this episode. We're recording this episode the 17th of March, by the way. I know Mike and Frog, you guys don't play Warhammer 40K.
No.
But I do, and I'm an orc player. And generally there's things that you can figure out from people by what race they play in Warhammer 40K. Generally, people who pick like Dark Eldar think they're deviants when they're really like vanilla people. And I know that none of this information means anything to you.
I like how the orcs are mushrooms.
Yeah, they are. People who play Chaos tend to be like salesmen, weirdly enough. And then guys who play like Black Templars, which is a Space Marine race, they tend to be white supremacists. People who play like Imperial Guard are the most vanilla, boring people. Like they have great banana bread recipes and nothing else.
These are very specific.
Nice. I mean, banana bread is delicious.
And then like every guy I know who's super religious and actively like brings up in a conversation, would Jesus do this? Tends to play Grey Knights. Like so you got these personality types, and so orc players. Now obviously, once somebody goes to a tournament, that personality goes out the window. Like, a lot of times people who bring an army to a tournament are trying to metagame, so they are not bringing an army they identify with, they're bringing what's good. But orc players tend to be like, we're very relaxed. We like to have fun, we don't care if we win or lose, like, we care more about painting than we do playing, which is why you don't actually see that many orc players come into the game, is because they're too busy painting. Well, a lot of orc players have been really bored lately with 40k because they're like, it's just competitive. All the updates make the game competitive. It's balance patches. It's, hey, this makes this army more competitive in this way. Well, a few weeks ago, we got put on the docket to be updated. Like, our rules get updated. We get new models. Like, it's a party for us. And, sorry, one sec. Can you hear me still?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And basically, we got an update. Well, more and more of the update is coming out, and we're seeing more and more that the rules aren't making, like, they're kind of making us A-listers, because, like, whenever new rules come out, that army who gets affected becomes A-listers for a short period of time. But the rules seem more geared towards having fun. Like, we have a strategy where you can blow up a 200-point model, which is 10% of your army, just for the hell of it. It's literally called Headbutt, and the description is, you crash your 200-point plane into the enemy for fun.
Oh,
well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, like, this is awesome. And it's really, really nice, but it's got a lot of us thinking, and it's just, competition as a whole kills games.
but you can just not be competitive with it.
But that's the thing. I'm in a pool. So I'm swimming in a pool, and that pool is the resources put towards Warhammer 40k. And in this analogy, imagine I'm a fish. Okay? So I'm a fish in a pool, and the pool is Warhammer 40k's resources.
I don't follow. You're a fish now?
Yes, I'm a fish.
In a pool.
I'm not an orc, I'm a fish.
Do you have gills?
Okay.
Yes, I have gills in this situation. I have to breathe Warhammer 40k.
So the water? So 40k
painful.
is the water?
The water is Warhammer 40k resources, yes.
Is it like what's the word again?
Wait, am I a fish?
Yes, you are also a fish because you play Warhammer 40k with me.
That's crazy.
Okay.
I think I got it.
So I'm a fish. There's a lot of fish in my pond, and they're all trying to drink the resources, and they're trying to get the resources for themselves. So while this is going on, there's a lot of players who are coming out going, no, we want balance patches. We want the game to be fun on a competitive level. Well, when they do that, they drain my resources. And that minority is very, very vocal, and they've been ruining the game because they're the guys spending money. Which means because they're spending money, they're getting the resources, which means they're getting what they want, and I'm not, and I'm suffering as a player from it. And
but you see, the issue, the non-issue here is that you can just go play for fun, and
but
and
the
if
problem
someone
is
doesn't want to play with you for fun, then they can not play with you.
But the game, when it gets balanced this hard, stops being fun. So a big thing is in previous editions of Warhammer 40k, Orcs had a rule where your troop carriers, your cars, nowadays they say something like, it can carry 10 models, or it can carry 20 models. And you put that model on the table, and you put those 10 models to the side until they get out of the vehicle. In the old days, you used to have rules that said stuff like, as many models as you can fit in this carrier physically is what you can have in this carrier, but any model that falls out during a movement phase is dead. So you had people who would build these giant buckets on their troop carriers to fit 30 models. And that's not balanced. That's insane. That's stupid as hell. But that was fun.
I don't know.
Didn't you have like a really popular tweet that was like in response to me pointing out people complaining about rule changing for easy people? Didn't you have a really popular response to that was about how that's happening in Warhammer? Is this where this is coming from?
Yeah, no, this is exactly where it's coming from. Is like there's the poster boy army.
But aren't you the people wanting it to now change to be more fun in this scenario?
Well, you have to realize I'm saying more fun. I'm not necessarily saying more accessible. I am saying I want the game to be less competitive and more entertaining.
So
I
that
want
it
to
can
play
be
a game to be
more
entertaining.
accessible.
Actually, no. Being more competitive seems to be more accessible. Because the more competitive the game gets, the more people seem to be spending money on it. It's the same thing with League of Legends.
That's not the same thing, though.
League of Legends, in my opinion, was at its prime December 2009. I would say October to December 2009, League of Legends was
I
the
think
best
League
it would
of
ever
Legends was at its prime shortly before it launched.
Well, yeah, that was August 2009.
Okay. Then yeah, before it was a thing, it was the best it could ever be.
Yeah, really, it was, because you had 40 very unbalanced champions. You had a champion that if you let him get to the end game...
it didn't exist, and that made it good.
Well, actually, that's the mindset a lot of people have. Like, you had a champion, Jax, who if you let him get to level 18, and you let him farm, nobody could beat him. He could solo an entire 5-man team under their turret, taking damage every half a second.
Still can most of the time.
Wait a second. wait, I did... You're saying... Okay, this is because I'm starting to understand, and I think you're insane.
I'm saying goofy,
you're saying that it's more
gameplay.
fun. It's better when it's more fun, and it's more fun when you can play something broken for you, but the other people playing against the broken thing isn't fun.
No, because it wasn't only Jax that was broken. Annie was a broken nuke. Trinmadir could have his invulnerability procced all the time.
Yeah, but
Twisted
you see,
Fate
that's
could
the thing.
get across the map.
Having broken things isn't fun whenever you have to fight them. Like,
right.
There's also fun and balance. Like, I don't know,
like imbalance is fun. If you're not playing competitively, like, here's the thing. I loved Little Big Planet 1 through 3 because none of the games made sense. You played poop survival, where you literally ran from exploding turds for as long as possible.
Yeah, but you see, there's no competitive aspect to
and that's so
Little
much
Big Planet.
fun.
for some people.
Yes.
Other people I like competition.
We're talking
That's
about
like a big thing for me.
Like we're
Or like Mario Party. Mario Party's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and
but
it's slightly competitive, but it's stupid and it's mindless.
there's a difference between competitive and competition.
yeah.
Competition is okay. Competitive gameplay, I think, generally makes things vanilla.
In the card game called Yu-Gi-Oh!
I mean, you can-
which I play
yeah, go for it.
and love. There's a card called Pot of Greed. And all
Let's-
Pot of Greed does, and this is
lets you
something that a
draw
lot of
2
people
more
understand.
cards.
Yes. That card is broken.
Yeah.
Because it means you have 6 free spaces in your deck, basically.
Yes, because
so-
you can max out 8 cards.
What?
So because
can
of
max out
that,
4
that
cards.
card has been banned since it first came out. And
Yes.
that is a good thing because it makes deck building, like, you actually have to think about all your spaces and you don't just have free spaces.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
is...
But
Like-
then again, card games are like fighting games. They're trash, and you shouldn't be playing them.
You like fighting games.
Okay, Boomer.
Well, I like fighting games, but I'm not going to pretend that they solely exist to be competitive. So my argument against fighting games, the only fighting game I've genuinely ever played, because once again, Smash Brothers isn't a fighting game, The only fighting game I've ever played that I didn't feel was meant to be competitive, but was meant to be enjoyable for everyone involved, was Mortal Kombat.
Well, that's the thing, right? If a game is designed well, you can have fun with it on a casual and competitive level, or anywhere in between.
Yes. Right, but and now we have League of Legends. I don't know a single person who's been playing League of Legends as long as I had who says they enjoy the game. Nobody I know
anyone
enjoys
who plays
League
League
of
of Legends who
Legends.
says they enjoy anything.
Nobody enjoys League of Legends. They play League of Legends because they have Stockholm syndrome.
Pretty much. No,
And
I'm with you 100%. But that's an exception, though. That game is
No, but
exceptionally
they've balanced
awful.
that game to the floor. Like, at one point, I think it was 2015, right before I quit, they couldn't release a champion without his Q being an offensive skill, his W being a semi-defensive skill that you might be able to use offensively, his E being either some sort of CC or CC evasion, and then his R being a semi-unique nuke. That's literally
the thing
every character.
about League of Legends. League of Legends is a poorly designed game from the beginning, and so balancing
that's not true. It's actually got some good stuff in there. It's just got...
Shut up.
You haven't even played the game, I bet.
I've watched many people play it. I've watched many games.
It's way different.
It is garbage. It's hot garbage.
No, it is garbage, but it's got some good ideas.
And that's a funny thing. I'm on Warcraft 3 these days, and I'm playing a game literally called Infantry versus Grunts.
Way the fuck out.
Whoa. Yeah, weird. I'm on Warcraft 3 these days because I quit League of Legends, and I play a game pretty much every day now called Infantry versus Grunts, and the entire premise of the game is it's Footman Frenzy. You run your stupid army against their stupid army, and there are innately broken aspects and strategies in that game, but because there's so many of them, that's the thing. There's balancing to the point where everybody's vanilla ice cream, and then there's making it so that there's so many flavors of ice cream you can't pick the most delicious.
See, a well-balanced, it's all about, you got to think about not only balancing, but actual design. Like, the thing, like, let's think about, like, Overwatch, right? Bad game, I think.
Bad game, balanced to the floor, very vanilla.
But see, that game was at its best when it first released. Yeah. Whenever the characters felt different.
Thing is, here's the thing, right? They not only is that, but like they also just added restrictions to that game that were not even. And thing is, like, it doesn't matter because people who were competitive weren't gonna abuse things that weren't good. Like, I don't think stacking all one character was that good. But if you wanted to do for fun, you could. So that was a good thing for accessibility, and it didn't affect competitive play at all. So why?
And as weird as it is, Counter-Strike has existed for how many years, and I still think it's fun.
It's great.
Yeah, Counter-Strike, literally the AK-47 has been the best gun since the game was invented. Yeah. And yet, people are still, do they want to use the bolt-action sniper rifle? Do they want to use the PP Bison? Do they want to use the AK?
You're the one who wants to use the Bison. You're the only one.
There are so many ways to play CS Counter-Strike, and there has always been ways to play, and it is still fun. Because there are so many flavors of ice cream you can choose from when you go to the ice cream parlor that's Counter-Strike.
Well, it's not like if your game is well designed, then balancing comes naturally.
Yeah.
If your game is poorly designed, then balancing just fucking shits itself completely.
I would rephrase this. I would say if your game was designed with love. Because when Pendragon built League of Legends, he loved League of Legends. And then he sold the damn game to China, and now it sucks. Because China
I don't even think love has anything to do with it. Like, you can design something well and fucking hate yourself.
Well, no, it was the same thing with Warhammer Eternal Crusade. That game was supposed to be this giant MMO in space where you're supposed to have these epic space battles and you could interact with all this stuff. And then they ran into a budget crisis. I think China bought the game. And then they turned around and they were like, yeah, so turn this into an arena shooter and milk the cash shop. And the game went from this like really fun, semi-in-development game to just like, what the hell am I playing?
Yeah, I don't know.
So I would say that as long as a game is being designed and balanced by people who love it and don't see it as a competitive thing, it's a good game. That's why this...
I mean, it can be seen as a competitive thing. Counter-Strike's always been seen as... Not always, but like for a long time it's been seen as a competitive thing.
Competitive games are fun. It's a different kind of fun. And I no one's playing like Warhammer. Like I realize to play Warhammer. That's not a competitive game.
Yes, but it is. It absolutely is.
No, it's a.
They go to LVO every year in Las Vegas and compete. the best rosters come from that tournament that happens every year.
Sure, but when you're playing, you're not playing because you're going to go to the tournament. You're playing casual games.
And so I pick I don't pick the medalists. I pick my orcs who are currently B-list. They're probably going to be A-list after this. And we have fun.
Yeah, and that's fine.
I mean, that's how I feel about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Of the competition.
It's harder to have fun because the rules aren't geared towards fun. They're geared towards competition. Remember that rule I told you about with the unit transport? You can't do that anymore. You can't do zany stuff.
I mean, you can just make house rules, can't you?
Yes, exactly.
It's a board game.
It's really difficult to homebrew.
Yeah,
you can do whatever you want. You can literally just take your figures and mash them together if you wanted to waste your money. Like, you don't have to follow the rules. Like, in Yu-Gi-Oh!, if I want to put 3 pot of greeds in my deck when I'm playing with my homies, I can. And they'll hate me.
They'll kick you in the dick for it.
Yeah, exactly. I can do that. But, like, if you're going to play by competition rules, you gotta play by competition rules. They can be separate things entirely, and that's totally fine. Like, I play Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't really play it competitively, but I play it with a competitive mindset. I follow the ban list rules whenever I play online. I play Duel Links, and I try and make competitive-ish decks on my... I play the game for free, so it's very hard to play competitive-ish decks. But I try and have the mindset of someone that plays it competitively, and you know what? I don't have fun all the time. There are loads of times when I just don't play Duel Links because I'm not gonna have fun because my out of date deck is not nowhere near good enough. But like, that's just because that's how I choose to play the game. And if you choose to play it non-competitively, that's valid, King.
But what I'm saying is that it is more difficult to play it non-competitively because the gears are the rules are steadily ramping up to be competitive.
I mean that in that case, you can make the argument for like Overwatch, which just makes sense because they made dumb decisions to make things like quote unquote more competitive, and it's just less fun overall. If they're changing rules to make it so less fun options are a thing, I can understand that as a concept, but don't blame that entirely on the concept of competition in itself.
Yeah, I think it's totally fine to say, hey,
I don't like these rule changes very much. That's valid. I agree with that because like I don't like pendulums. Fucking hate pendulums in Yu-Gi-Oh! For example, but I deal with them.
Which is it's dumb because no one plays pendulums. It's a bad deck now.
Yeah, but it wasn't for a long time, and then
But, like, it's totally fine to not like it, but then to say that this competitive is literally killing all video games, it's not substantiated.
It's more and more difficult, and maybe it's just because I'm getting older and, like, senile, but it's getting more difficult to enjoy a game because everybody's trying to be competitive with their game. Like, very few games, I feel, are made with multiplayer games especially, without MLG in mind.
That's such a 2006 concept, but you're not even wrong. Like yeah, the tons of like fucking these games that are made by EA and Activision that come out and they're like, oh, we have to be the most recent competitive thing, so let's do it. Like, I mean, there's a reason why you've been playing so many fucking battle royales lately. It's because they're the least competitive style games that you can play these days.
Yeah, and especially Ring of Elysium, because it's just like, I don't care if I lose in Ring of Elysium. And Ring of Elysium is actually, it's a teamwork based game where teamwork is not necessary to win. I have shot my teammate in the back of the head because it doesn't matter if your team wins. There's only 4 slots to get out on the helicopter. So if 3 slots are already taken up and your buddy's getting to that, you shoot him in the head and you take that last slot. And you feel great.
You feel great. Speaking of feeling great, Froggy Frog.
That's me.
Tell me about the Joker, baby.
I'm the Joker, baby. I watched
just 6 months old.
I watched Joker for the first time like a week or 2 ago. No, it was like a couple weeks ago now because we were going to talk about it last time, but we forgot. Right? I think so.
Yeah, it was weird because there was literally the perfect transition.
Yeah, we had a moment where we talked about, like, we mentioned it and we didn't transition. It's just odd. I feel like one of us would have caught that, but whatever. I saw it with my friends.
Yeah, the person who saw the Joker, probably.
Yeah, you'd think I would have, right? I saw it for the first time. A bit late, I'm sorry. But, it was very good. And I mostly just want to talk about how I feel like so many people didn't get it or felt like they were smarter than they are or something like that.
Tell me, does the Joker live in a society?
There's definitely some societal things going on in that movie, yeah.
You know, in retrospect, I've seen this movie, and I love this movie.
That's great.
But the longer I think about it, it kind of reminds me of, what was that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, where he's been turned up for so many Oscars, and so many Academy Awards, that he was finally like, I'm going to do a movie where if I don't get an Academy Award, I'm going to shoot up the building. Like, what was that video or that movie?
I don't know.
It was about the trapper who gets stuck in the wild, and it's basically just him falling off cliffs the entire time. Yeah, Revenant.
Yeah, the movie where he ate guts for an Academy Award.
I honestly feel like the Joker was Joaquin Phoenix going, I don't care what movie it is, I'm going to
swear
act my
to
heart
Christ, shut up, Joaquin Phoenix, go away! You do this on purpose to trigger me. I hate you so much.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix is literally one of my favorite actors. Go away. You're
it's spelled Joe Queen.
I can understand Joaquin. But why Joe Queen? There's no E in there.
Here's the funniest thing. Whenever people would talk about him, because I never put, like, who he was together, I just thought he was a black dude. And then I find out he's, like, the most geriatric white-looking dude you can imagine. And I'm like, wait, his name isn't Joe Queen?
No. Anyway, I feel like there's such a movement online of people being like, oh, it's the gamers
rise up.
movie. And I guess, like, part of that was probably a meme. So
Joker says gamer rights.
Yeah. But, like, the movie is all about, well, there's a couple different messages swirling around, but a big part of it is class conflict, which is, like, glaringly obvious. You know, it's the whole thing that in the movie, basically, except for the Joker himself. Because it's kind of weird, because the whole political stuff and Joker feel, like, separate. Like, he even mentions it at the end, or how he says, like, I have nothing to do with politics, but he started a political movement. It was kind of cool. So
I've watched analysis of the movie because I just haven't been able to afford to watch the movie.
I apologize until Cinemassacre or Red Letter Media covers. Oh wait, Red Letter Media did cover it.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And they did a pretty good video on it. But like the Joker feeling separated from the political messages, it's 100% like, from how I can tell, is like totally how like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like he's the citizen and like that he's affecting the society. God, I hate talking about anything Joker related and then talking about society, but it's literally like the thing. We do live in a society, Queens. I feel like it's supposed to be like not cromulent, because what's going on is bigger than just him.
What does this have to do with Star Trek races?
What?
Cromulence.
Ah.
The race from Star Trek. Or wait, was that Futurama that had the cromulence?
I don't know.
Cromulent is a word. It is of the English language, and I really don't feel like busting out the dictionary to explain it.
Futurama,
You're thinking
cromulent. Cromulent, there we go. Yeah, the cromulent. They were the green-headed people.
I don't know.
I'm the Joker, baby.
I'm the Joker, baby. Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now.
What was a cromulent?
Stop it. Just talk.
Acceptable or adequate? Mike, you could have just said it's acceptable.
Frog, just talk about the fucking movie, please.
So does the movie embiggen you, Frog?
What does that mean?
Makes you hard. Make your pee-pee big.
Not
does it embiggen you spiritually,
Frog? I mean, it's probably the best case for like it's what,
clash
of class revolution I've ever seen.
Talk. Yeah, we should eat the rich, guys.
I mean,
clap your hands.
I mean, it's honestly like it's pretty much like you're watching a socialist movement go down, basically, right? Or at least like a revolution of some sort, which is kind of interesting.
I don't know. I feel like it was the Gen Z's version of V for Vendetta.
I mean, it was undoubtedly about class conflict and taking like back from the rich. is like the whole thing.
I think what the movie actually is it is a metaphor for the Bernie Sanders presidency or lack thereof.
Nope, I'm cutting this off before we end up in a political conversation.
I mean, the Joker is a political movie. It's just kind of how it's going to happen.
It is a socially political movement, but trying to assign your favorite politician to it is stupid.
But
I'm the joking baby.
He's joking, baby.
No,
He's
we
walking,
all
baby.
know that the Joker is Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese. I hate you're doing this on purpose.
The guy who bought the Wu-Tang album.
Ooh.
Martin Shkreli? Yeah.
Shkreli?
That's the Joker.
I don't get this Joker anymore.
I think I just killed Mike.
I don't know what's going on, man. This is like, I can't even...
So the Dragon Quest has a movie on Netflix.
Does it?
Yeah, it's called Dragon Quest Your Story.
That's so interesting.
And it is
nuts.
It is an incredibly well animated 3D retelling
it's animated?
of
Yeah, it is.
Of the 5th Dragon Quest game.
There's 5?
Which there's 11 of them.
That's crazy.
I think my biggest issue with it is all the trailers I see just look like 3D hentai from the 2009 to 2014 era.
Wait,
and it makes me incredibly
I need to look this up.
uncomfortable to watch.
They're really okay. The 3D models are like really like they're good, but I could see having like they do have like kind of a sheen to them that's of a porn quality.
Wait, I have to look this up.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like Gone Beret, the Rail Forest or whatever it was called.
I don't want to know what that is.
The Con Beret. Dude, this dude's chin looks like a ball sack.
This man eating
this
beans.
actually looks good.
Yeah, it looks really good, but like, actually, no, it looks more like How to Train Your Dragon.
Well,
I think it's
okay,
just smoking crack.
it looks good in some ways, and then it has like some really weird things in others. Like the slime looks like it's a toy piece, just kind of plopped onto the environment. To be honest,
Dude, it's the Jar Jar Binks of Japan.
So yeah, I really wish they had art style wise gone a little bit more Toriyama-ish.
Yeah, because this seems like some things are clashing. Like the slime, especially, is clashing with everything else.
All the monster designs are still like they look more like Toriyama designs, but then the humans look weirdly like
Toy Story shit.
Dragon Ball E actually.
Well, imagine that.
Which I realize that's Toriyama.
Yeah, this doesn't look Dragon Ball at all. It looks like How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, it really does. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm getting that like How to Train Your Dragon vibe.
Yeah, there's some art style clashing going on here.
So
yeah,
this movie,
this
movie, 90% of this movie is really great, and you guys should totally watch it. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the last 10% of the movie happens.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. The more I'm looking at this, like, take a look at the picture I just sent. That looks like How to Train Your Dragon.
It does. No, it actually does remind me a lot of it style wise. But yeah, keep going. Especially the girl character, the blonde girl, looks exactly the same as the other blonde girl.
She's Ingrid.
I fucking love her. Bianca, dude. Her original design's nowhere near as good as that movie design. It's fucking
Dragon
awesome.
Quest Bianca.
Oh, she's so fucking hot. Anyway.
Are you kidding me? Like, the Android 18 look is way better.
Nah, dude, because she doesn't look like anything like Android 18. She's not nearly as bitchy. Anyway. Dragon Quest, Your Story.
Wait. Do you not like Android 18?
No, I love Android 18.
Okay,
I just said she's not
Between
nearly as
Android
bitchy.
18 and Bulma, who's the better wife?
Android 18.
You're an idiot.
Oh. Anyway, Dragon Quest, Your Story.
Bulma is loaded.
Dragon Quest.
You know, she dated Yamcha, Mike. She would accept you.
Dragon Quest, Your Story. Frog, are you still there?
I'm here. I'm just kind of observing from the back, to be honest.
So in the last 10% of Dragon Quest, Your Story, they go to fight the last boss. They strike it, and then the fucking movie starts to glitch.
What?
It's Dragon Warrior Monster.
No. Moth, just let me talk.
No!
God damn it!
Alright, go.
So, like, the whole fucking world starts to fucking glitch, like, digital artifacting. They actually remove all the bump mapping and all the shading and shit. It's really fucking weird. And then a fucking Jesus-ass, demon-ass monster appears, and he's like, I am a computer virus and you're actually in a video game. And then it flashes back and it turns out that the entire movie, which is a retelling of Dragon Quest V, was actually a VR attraction in a Dragon Quest themed fucking amusement park where a guy gets to relive his favorite fucking game as a VR person, and it's basically an isekai. This guy gets put into his favorite video game as the main character, and it's revealed in like the last fucking 5 seconds, and it's literally like he has to defeat the virus, which the virus was put in, dude, this is the fucking best. The virus was put in the game by the designer because he fucking hates Dragon Quest and he was forced to design the game, and literally the virus is like, and my master put me here for anyone who gets this far to tell them video games are fucking lame, you fucking nerd.
Wait. Is that like that game that came out on the Nintendo Entertainment System by the guy who hated Japanese games, like Takeshi's Challenge?
Takeshi's Challenge?
No, yeah, he's talking about Takeshi's. No, it's not like that, because Takeshi's Challenge is just supposed to like be a pointless fetch quest so that you get aggravated with it and stop playing. Like this is straight up like everything's totally fine, and then like at the very end, a computer virus has replaced the last boss. And he has to overcome the computer virus by using the power of his fucking piss boy childhood memories of being a lonely kid playing RPGs to overwrite the virus. And it's so fucking, I love it. It's like, cause you watch the fucking movie and there's none of that. Like, none of it. It's just a retelling of the 5th fucking game in the franchise. And then it comes to the end, and it's like, where the fuck is this coming from? Who was like, you know what the people want? The people want to be told that they're fucking gay and lame for playing RPGs.
You know what this
this movie was made by Frog. That's who it was made by.
Oh, true.
You know what this reminds me of, though? Like, I had to sit here and listen to Mike ramble mindlessly while I looked for this. Digimon R War game.
What?
I mean, I don't know how. Because I love Digimon, the movie.
Yeah, but the second story, because the movie that we got in America was just 3 shorts glued together and then sold with Amanda Please.
Yeah, I know.
Gosh. No, it wasn't Amanda Please. What was it? It was Mia Tequila. No. That weird. Thanks, Frog. You want to talk about Canadian war crimes?
What?
Let's talk about what happened at the beginning
Angela
of the Digimon movie.
Huh?
Yeah, Angela.
Oh, that's a war
Anaconda,
crime.
Yeah, that is a war crime in itself. You know that came out of Canada.
Yeah, no,
right?
I'm aware. I'm aware of many Sanders.
Thanks.
You don't even know about Yvonne of the
knowledge.
Yukon, my guy. We got a lot of war crimes under our belt just under television alone.
Yeah, so Dragon Quest.
Yeah, like Oh Canada.
Yeah,
Quest,
that
your
one's
fucking
pretty bad.
story
I like
is-
Jacob Tutu. That's a pretty good one.
Jacob.
That one's pretty bad.
Canada cartoons don't exist.
Oh,
They're
dude,
fucking
there are some good
awful,
ones. Like
all
League of
of them.
Super
Oh
Evil is
my
actually solid.
gosh, what is this?
Wait, which one are you looking at?
I'm looking at Jacob
That
Tutu.
one's real cursed.
Oh my gosh, it's
It's real cursed.
It looks like they can't decide whether they want to be like Tintin or Chowder.
It's neither. It's like this really weird. I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like Tintin, actually. It's like a
Hey
Tintin
there,
if he was like
everybody.
4.
Hope you're enjoying this audio content on your audio podcast full of audio. I hope you like us barely describing these vague Canadian cartoons.
Basically, it's like, just imagine I don't even know how. Listen, I don't know how to describe it. Okay, I'm gonna send you a picture, and I'm gonna let you describe this. You describe this art style, okay? You tell me.
Oh,
Here, it's in project.
I'm looking at it right now. Jacob Tutu.
Yeah, he's having trouble. Hey, look at this, Mike. What do you think? How do you describe this? Tell me.
It
You know
looks
what's
bad.
weird?
Yeah,
Is like this
Looks
is
like clip art.
activating.
it does look like clip art.
This is activating my fight or flight reflexes from like 1999 in the back of my medulla oblongata, and I'm just like, oh no. All right, let's talk about our last topic. And actually, I'm gonna gripe about this one. I'm gonna gripe about Castlevania because I like season 3
was pretty good.
So here's my problem.
If this is the same problem you had earlier, I'm going to bitch at you for because it's stupid.
Well, no. Even from the first episode, did you get the feeling that they were trying really hard to do this like flip thing where it's like the vampires are the real humans, humans are monsters? No. Like, no. You never got that?
No.
Like with the fact that
spoilers for Season 3, by the way.
Season 2 literally ends with human getting like fucking cock and ball tortured, and then Season 3 starts with him getting thrown into a cage by vampires. No, I didn't think they were trying to treat them.
The way the show always started to me was it was like Dracula is mad at humanity because it's cruel. Even in Season 3, you're seeing that the dude with the monsters is more human than the humans he runs into.
Well,
but that's about Dracula. It's not about the vampires as a whole.
No, but it's like Season 3, we have a guy who's surrounded by monsters. He's a forge master, and his monsters are more human than the humans he runs into.
I mean, not really. Only one of his monsters can even talk, and
it's more a thing of like people can be presumptuous, and it's saying like, hey, humans aren't so fucking peachy, dude. They're also assholes. Like how the whole first season was how humans are awful. They don't need the second and third one to be like that.
Now, you guys are ready for the bomb?
Is it the same thing earlier?
So in my opinion, they've been painting the vampires and the monsters to be more human than humans. And you especially see it with like the Russians and whatnot in this third season. The Russian Orthodox Church? What? Yeah, those. The guys who are like, oh boy, we're waiting for the visitor to come visit us.
What? Wait. Oh! You mean like the prior? The priory.
The crazy church.
Yes, I love that arc. That's really fun.
Yeah, it's like you're seeing, but then they completely take it and they completely throw it out the window.
Why? What? Where?
I'm like lost in his train of thought right now.
You know the Priory, right? You saw Season 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm lost in the sense of I have no idea what the fuck he could even vaguely be talking about.
What do you mean how has it derail? It has its own whole...
So we've been presenting the vampires as more human than humans by giving them human
agree with
relationships.
That.
Except we haven't, but go
it's
on.
Just,
giving them human emotions.
The entire series has basically made it so that like it's almost like a food chain type deal for them. They're another society above ours that are more powerful, and they just want to eat us. Vampires compared to humans, and we're also in a sentient society. It's basically like, what if there was another...
In Season 2, the vampires commit clear atrocities.
Here's the thing, right? The basis of this universe is that there's... what if humans weren't the top of the food chain, and there was a second sentient species that was the top of the food chain? That's basically what Castlevania is.
I feel like you're deciding this based off the fact that Dracula was shown to be sympathetic in the first season, and he's... that's one vampire who's the oldest vampire, who also, like, was just tired of killing, so he reclused himself away, and a human happened to come across that was more interesting than any other human he had ever met before. Like, he is a different vampire. Like, I don't think you can make the case that they've been showing literally, the vampires in Season 2, which are the first time we see other vampires other than Dracula, are all awful. Like, one of the fucking, the Japanese vampire literally has fucking human slaves, and they make them watch her kill people every now and again, which is revealed in the third season.
Do you realize, like, how boring it would be to live in that time frame? She was providing them entertainment.
What?
Anyway.
No, but here's, like, and they even bring it to an apex when you see the relationship between Trevor and Cypher, and you see that even after a short period of time being together, they are already bored of each other.
They've been together
jump across
bored?
the ocean.
Wait, what?
You jump across the ocean to the two lesbian vampires that have been together for hundreds of years, and they are still happy.
They are never
together.
shown. They're just making shit up now.
It's established that the time they've been apart has either been, based off what Alucard said, it's either been several years or 3 whole months.
And they aren't. It's been 2 months.
And
it's 3 months.
2 or 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a short time.
It's 3 months.
They aren't, like, tired. They're tired in the sense of, like, oh, we've been hunting for a while.
How did you come... Wait.
No, but then, did you not see the entire
other.
scene where Trevor is like, why am I letting myself get cock and ball tortured? He was out at a lake talking about that.
What?
What?
Yeah, he was out at a lake, and he was like, man, why are you letting this girl control you, man? Like, you're better than this, man. Like, he's already discontent with the relationship he's only had for 3 months.
Wildly misinterpreted this scene.
You've completely misinterpreted that scene, because it's literally he goes out to be alone, and he's like, wow, I don't like being alone. That's weird.
No,
this is new.
He was saying, I don't like being in a committed relationship. I prefer being alone.
That's not what was said.
Also, how'd you watch all of season 3 and come out with the idea that they're worse off? They had their best interactions so far in this season. I think the dynamic was actually really good.
I'm only 6 episodes in.
Fucking God.
Fuck you. Like, you're 6 episodes in, the last 2 episodes are the only episodes worth talking about. I was about to spoil shit.
Actually.
God damn it!
I'm about to go weigh in on how my boy Hector, I love him so much.
Why'd you even bring this up if you didn't...
I love my boy Hector so much. I want the best for him.
Now.
You know, the one thing I can appreciate, though...
Hector.
What?
The one thing I genuinely appreciate about the vampires, though, is how, like, sexually promiscuous they've become as characters as time goes on.
Only like one.
Like, well, no, you were seeing it in season 2, where the guy was like, I'll have sex with a horse, I'll have sex with a human, I don't care, I'll have sex with everything.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Like, I've been around for 700 years, I'm gonna put my dick in something.
Yeah, Brad Brown was funny. Until he was pointless as a character and instantly got murked.
And murked?
Yeah, super murked.
Yeah, and then you see it, like, you see that these characters, like, and you saw it with the geisha, or the Japanese vampire, too, where it's like, I am so bored, I'm just killing samurai for fun. Like, you're seeing them, you're seeing what happens when you live forever.
I think they just wanted food, to be honest. And they just did it in a weird way, a weird culty way.
Yeah.
Okay, but
most of the vampires are not as old as Dracula.
Yeah, Dracula is like one of the big boys. He's like, I think that's why he's so powerful, right? He's just been around the longest.
Yeah.
They didn't really describe why.
Okay, but Mike, let me hit you with a scenario, okay? Let me put it this way. You can eat all the fast food you ever wanted without having to ever pay for it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can go any fast food joint on the planet without having to pay for it.
Okay.
Yes, I believe food should be free, yes.
That'd be awesome.
Shut up, Mike. But, like, and you've probably never done this, but as somebody who has to travel, like, 3 weeks out of every month, you eat at every fast food joint. After a while, like, all you're thinking about is, like, how can I make this more interesting? And so you go to Taco Bell, and you grab yourself a Crunchwrap Supreme with a Baja Blast, and then you drive to Burger King, and you get a double stack bacon cheeseburger Whopper, and you jam that Crunchwrap into the Whopper as the top bun, and that's what you eat. And, like, that's what those vampires have become. They are so bored that they're just trying to entertain themselves.
This analogy, like, lost me, like,
You're completely...
1/3 of the way through.
Completely unhinged.
Anyway, you didn't even...
I'm actually upset. Because if you had told us that you hadn't finished it yet, I would not have put it on the docket for us to talk about. Because those last 2 episodes are so important.
Those last 2 episodes are incredible, too. Well,
yes. Which episode does Alucard get sodomized in?
That arc sucks. I'm just gonna be real. That arc is the worst arc in the whole season.
Actually, I disagree with you. It's my favorite arc.
Are you fucking serious?
Yes.
How?
I gotta agree with Mike here. The
it.
worst arc in the season is the magician.
No, he's fucking cool. I love Danger Man.
No, he's okay.
Yeah, he's the worst arc.
I feel nothing for him. Like no positive.
Okay,
or negative.
I'm not gonna talk about it, but like.
I do actually have a legitimate
the Alucard arc
has
nothing going
about
on
this
until the end. The ending is kind of cool.
I take issue with this.
I think it's a parallel to his father's experience.
Well, yeah, I get that, but no, it's not.
Wait. So is that visual storytelling or is that a throwback?
No,
it's neither. It's he
parallel
wants to draw parallels. I don't think the parallels are quite there. There are
but if
some.
Something was back, like if it's a callback, isn't it a callback if it's his father who's no longer in the show?
It's more of a parallel because a callback would be him doing it. I think again.
A parallel are 2 situations, story points, or scenes that are similar in nature. That
are meant to reminisce on one, so you can remind you of the themes that were presented in the one to kind of mirror that in the other.
Because overall, like I think the big theme of Castlevania Netflix has been trust.
But the parallel would be like in The Prince of Egypt when Moses and Ramses are singing together about the same thing.
No.
King Ramses.
Well, I guess it kind of is a parallel, but it's also a direct parallel where they're right next to each other, isn't it?
No, they're in different rooms.
Yeah, but they're like the scenes are juxtaposed, like directly.
Okay. But I do have a huge complaint, and this is something that comes from
I swear to
both me and
Christ,
my
if
wife.
this has anything to do with what's going to be in the last 2 episodes, I'm going to crucify you.
No, it doesn't.
You don't know that, actually.
But probably not. But I have an issue where, and it's a trope, and I think I really just hate tropes, but where you take the biggest, strongest,
it's this again. Yeah, this is what I was talking
girl and make her a lesbian.
Yeah, this is dumb.
Oh, no, it is dumb. Because, like, Camilla has way more of a reason to be this character than the big, burly Russian girl does.
What?
I don't agree. I think she's
Camilla's pretty
perfectly
one-sided.
characterized for... I think all the vampire girls are okay. Well, the only one that's not, like, characterized enough is the Russian burly
black one?
girlfriend.
Yeah. She's, like, barely a
The
character.
Spaniard. Yeah, it's. I remember my wife talking to me, and she's like, "I don't even care that Noi has in Doro Hetero." She's like, "I don't care that Noi is in a relationship. I'm just glad that they didn't take the biggest girl in the show and make her a lesbian."
Why not?
Noi, yeah, Noi is in a relationship like that. I mean, they eventually come closer towards the end of the actual manga, but they're not in a relationship.
No, but you got to realize, like, my wife is what they call demisexual, where like she doesn't necessarily need a super romantic relationship to be happy. So like for her, it's just like, I'm glad Noi, they didn't take the biggest girl, because that's such a token character. Like that, it's such a tropey character. It drives me absolutely nuts.
Is that
it's like Trevor. Like Trevor is the same thing, where it's like, oh, I'm the generic white dude main protagonist. I have to be an alcoholic with one-liners. Like that's so annoying as a character.
I like Trevor.
In fact,
yeah, Trevor's
without
like
having
one of the best characters, if not the best.
I like Alucard.
Like without having Alucard to dick size with him, Trevor's a boring character.
No, I disagree. I think he's really fun.
No, he's not. He's a very tortured character who's used
He's
alcohol.
not tortured.
What?
He's a
what?
spoiled brat who became an alcoholic
How is he
because
spoiled?
his
My dude
parents
got
died.
like heckin' literally ran out of house and home from the age of 12.
He had to watch from the side. Not even watch. He had to like fucking hear about his entire family name getting destroyed. Meanwhile, he's been using like fucking alcohol to like hide his fucking sorrows. Like
No, but he falls into the same character trope as what is that survival horror action game that
Resident
it had a sequel? No, it came out on the PS4 generation. The Evil Within?
Evil
I don't
Within?
know.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, so like Trevor reminds me of the main character of The Evil Within, where you just have this like broody male alcoholic, sometimes does stupid one-liners.
I never played that game, so I wouldn't know.
See, the thing is though, Trevor has a reason to be broody.
And he actually grows out of it.
The thing that makes the trope bad is when a character doesn't have a justification for being that way. They're just that way because that's what the writer wanted.
No, because Sasuke is an absolute garbage character, and he, above all people, has a reason to be broody.
Sasuke is in no way anything like that's not a... Oh, I hate you so much.
I mean,
it is a perfect parallel.
It's not a perfect parallel.
It is a perfect parallel. Trevor watched his family get murdered and his name run through the dirt, his family name, and so did Sasuke.
Okay.
They are the exact same character.
I saw on Twitter the other day, someone tweeted that the worst thing that ever happened to cinema was people learning cinematic language words. And I'm starting to like regret ever like speaking these words to you, because it's become a source of contention with my mind, with my brain, slowly. I thought the like brain damage from depression and ADHD was enough, but now I gotta listen to you speak, and every word out of your mouth furthers me towards the cliff.
But no, if you want to draw another parallel, like we can look at Shin from Doro Hetero compared to Trevor,
and
Shin is in the exact same boat. His family got murdered right in front of his eyes, and he got tortured, and yet as a character, he's much more enjoyable than Trevor.
That's like complete
because he doesn't let his torture define him. He doesn't. Great,
what are you talking about? Trevor does what?
Yeah, Trevor let his torture
Shin
define him
literally,
into a...
Shin literally defines him like he went through all that to become a magic user.
Yes, but then he's now like, hey, I'm Shin. I got a functioning relationship with my partner. I'm a cool dude. I can socialize. I have fun. I'm goofy. Life is great.
I don't know.
And then you got Trevor, who's like, I just need beer.
So you want?
I'm so
That's
angry.
not what he's like, though.
What? Yeah,
That's what he was like. That's what he was like in the first season.
The first season, he was
That's
kind
how
of
he is at the beginning of the third season.
No, he's
they
not
have a throwback.
at all. He goes and gets a beer, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I like beer," and that's not representative of him like regressing into his old drunken ways, just because he liked having a beer that one time. That's dumb.
Wasn't it funny? Wasn't it funny when the girl froze the beer because he said it was bad?
That was pretty funny.
That was fun.
That was a good joke.
A good joke.
Actually, I think my
We're
favorite
joking,
joke
baby.
so far in the entire series was they keep mentioning the dude with the boat.
That was pretty funny. It was only once though.
The boat
That was
cart.
one time.
No, it was twice. They mentioned
Well,
it
they did
twice.
it once on the way there, and then once on the when they got there, and that was it.
Yeah,
I wish they
was
would
great.
have like
I
a
love it. That
background
was
shot of a
great.
boat car at one point. That would be funny.
I don't know what that is.
There's a joke in the beginning of season 3 where they talk about a guy.
Yeah, it just
Oh yeah.
it kind of
Okay.
it kind of just reminded me of it reminded me of the cabbages from Avatar, and I was hoping that we would get more and more of that.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they would kind of re-gag that a couple times, or at least one more nod towards the end of it about the car and boat. But
Yeah, they could do like a callback.
no such thing, unfortunately. But
I absolutely hate the fact that Moth hasn't finished this because everything I want to talk about right now
Yeah, same.
is like
there's really good stuff at the end of season 3 that I want to talk about. Especially that last fight scene. It's not a spoiler. It's gonna be a fight scene, obviously. But
dude, that fucking Isaac's.
Yeah.
Isaac is my favorite character.
really,
I would actually. You know what's really really weird?
I like Isaac.
Normally the character that what's the I hate to say it. Who's the black guy
Isaac.
in this?
Isaac.
Is that Isaac? Okay, for some reason I thought Isaac was the Twink Forge.
No, that's
Master.
Hector. He's my favorite.
Hector. Okay, yeah. So Isaac is very interesting because he's normally a character I don't like. He reminds me of the Tomb Guard from the Mummy. Like,
He's very unlikable in season 2.
Yeah.
No, he was actually very likable
What
in
are
season
you-
2. I have liked him a lot. I think my favorite thing about him is he's a man who's literally
Just
seen
a
hell,
backwards human.
and yet he is consistently
Someone put you together
like,
the wrong way.
fact that the way that he's always saying like, the Prophet Muhammad, hallowed be his name. Like, he's a very religious guy. He's
You also
very
talk about that in season
spiritual.
3.
He's a great character, though. Like, I really, really
he's a good
like
character, yeah.
Isaac. It's just, what's weird is normally you have the characters that are Isaac, like the Tomb Guard in the Mummy, whatever his name was. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't, but I want to ask: have you gotten to the part where he gets off that pirate's boat yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, where he talked to his servant. That was a really great scene.
Wait, you got to the fly
that's-
guy
that's-
already? That was
Yeah, the
way
fly
past
guy.
6. That was like 8.
That's
That
episode
was
6.
definitely like 7
No,
or 8.
that's not episode 8. That's not.
Really? It felt like.
Yeah, Fly Guy's
Are you
episode
serious?
6.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. That was a great. That's a great scene.
I think my.
Yeah, the boat was a great scene. I mean, a lot of the show
The
was
Fly Eye
great.
guy is like one of my favorite scenes in the season.
Did you guys get the feeling that he was going to turn on him
No.
during that scene?
No.
He literally can't.
It
First,
felt to me like he was like getting close to him to like try and
he
choke
can't do
him or
that. He
something.
physically
I was like,
can't.
I feel like if he was gonna get close to that, it would have been him
Alluded.
expressing the fact that he. No, not that. Just him expressing the fact that he hates being alive. But then it was the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he's like, I'm so glad I'm out of hell. Woo!
Thanks for helping me come back so I can kill
That scene's
all the
actually
fucking
sick.
assholes.
I love that. That's a really
It's
good
so
scene.
Good. Every scene with Isaac is the best, including his climax, which I can't talk about. 'Cause it's so,
Now, out of
his
curiosity-
climax is so awesome. It's like
That
straight
fly
out of
demon.
D&D. Like it's so like
Yeah, it is.
This is something from someone's campaign.
Yeah. I like that one. I also like the final fight involving the main trio, and it's really good.
Yeah. That one goes full DMC. That fight.
That one
God,
goes
God
full
damn it! I can't talk
Castlevania.
about it. No. Watching that fight, like the choreography, like
Yeah, the
it made me think
choreography, yeah.
this guy wants to make a fucking Devil
He
May Cry
does.
series. He actually could,
And he does
because
wanna make it.
there's the fucking angels with the eyes and shit that are actually
There we
demons.
Yeah.
So, that fly, because the whole time I was watching that scene and he was describing his
Mm-hmm.
past, The Fly was actually a woman in his previous life. They said, because Reddit, honestly, if 4chan figured this out, I'd believe it more than Reddit. But Reddit basically, I got a post that I'm reading here that's talking about it. They believe that Fly Eyes most likely resembles Hypatia, a Neoplatonic philosopher in Alexandria.
Oh.
But that's all
Maybe,
I got right now.
I'm not gonna. It doesn't really matter.
That would actually be even more.
But yeah, it's a great scene. I love that. That's one of my favorite scenes this season. The fight scenes were really good this season. I think the animation quality overall was actually much more consistent than before.
Especially in the last 2 episodes.
Obviously. But overall, I think that was a more consistent. Season 1 and 2 were good sometimes, and then really shaky some other times. So it was good to see.
Yeah, I actually wrapped up season 2 to watch season 3 because I don't like season 2. I mean, I think it's fine.
I think it's good. But I think season 2 is really good. I think
I was bored halfway through and never finished it, and then I went back.
I guess I can understand that, but I don't agree.
I did the same thing with season 1, though.
What? No, season 1's awesome.
Season 1's perfect.
Season 1 was so boring.
It's like literally all
the
action.
3 episodes.
It's only 4
definition
episodes.
Of boring. Moth's definition of boring is anytime anytime character development is happening, he's bored.
Season 1 is actually like a really like a 10 out of 10 piece of TV. It doesn't overstay its welcome. Literally 4 episodes long. It doesn't need to be any longer. It's perfect.
Yeah, in fact, I think if season 2 had been 6 episodes instead of 8, it probably would have been better.
Maybe. Yeah, I think they really could have cut some stuff out. Actually, yeah.
I think season 3 is perfect.
Really? No, I don't think that. I think season 3 is pretty good. I think I liked it actually less than season 2. Personally,
I think it has some of the best payoffs. I love all the little things. I think the biggest thing that detracts from it
is mostly just Alucard's arc. I hate that arc.
That fucking kid went and got him them apples.
They have apples. Okay. I don't want to talk about that either.
Wait. Are we talking about Alucard from like the second season or third season?
The second season had a great arc for the main trio. I'm talking about the third season. Third season, the Alucard arc with him and the Japanese kids. Hate it. It's awful.
I love that.
By the way, are those brother and
it's
sister,
not really clear.
or
it
are they?
Matter.
No, it's not clear if they are related.
It doesn't,
but I don't think they are.
It doesn't have any effect on the story, regardless.
It really much does.
It really fucking doesn't.
He needs to know if it's okay if he gets a boner during the next 2 episodes. Okay.
Ugh.
So like
that scene sucks.
I love the Okay, here's the deal.
I don't want to be like one angry gamer because his take on this was really dumb.
I can't like describe everything that happens. Okay, but that entire arc in the season was very thematically relevant. Okay, it's literally this character. He needs to learn how to trust again. And these 2 people.
I get that. I know. Here's
come into his life.
On paper, it was good. They just didn't put enough time or effort into it. That's my.
I think it was. The only thing, because the payoff, which I can't describe now.
Payoff. The last scene is good. The last one.
I wish there would have been. Yeah, I wish there would have been more build up to what happens.
Yes. That's all I wanted because I didn't buy it. I didn't buy what was happening. Basically,
it did feel fake.
It felt super fake and super forced.
But I think if they would have just played into how they want to know how the castle moves.
Now, the Hector Lenore thing didn't feel forced. That felt actually like it made sense to me anyway.
We can't talk about it. Fuck!
I didn't say anything.
Damn it, Moth. No. I was about to
actually.
Say
What's weird is I felt the Hector Lenore thing was very forced.
You didn't get there yet.
I've gotten to the point where he's walking around in a collar.
Yeah, but you didn't get the rest of it.
You haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, it's good. That's actually my favorite part. One of my favorite parts. I think that and the main like Trevor Sypha is like my 2 favorite arcs of the season.
Isaac is because oh man, it's just so cool.
For me, Isaac's like third, but not in a. It's a very close third, right? It's like he's also really good.
I would actually say Isaac is my favorite arc right now.
That's fair.
If it's your favorite arc, then the payoff is gonna you're gonna come.
Oh, buckets.
It's so good. It's so
very good.
It's so like when I say it's D&D, it's so D&D.
But is it like Season of the Witch D&D?
It's like it's like you're a D&D you're playing D&D and your DM has been like kind of giddy and he wants to get you to that cool bit. and then you get to the cool bit, and he's just made up his own rules, and he did a bunch of really cool shit, and you're like, wow, this is so much fun and cool, we're doing cool things, and then there's a resolution, and you're like, wow, that was awesome!
Level 20 Necromancer.
See, all my DM ever does is he asks me if I want to try chocolate Frito-Lays, and then when I say yes, he jumps up on the table and shits in my Lay's pot.
Cool.
And with that, we have...
Let's move on to questions.
We have some... We're going to close out the show with some questions.
We've neglected questions for like a month and a half. Or more.
Actually, 3 months.
3 months.
So in that time, we've gotten 3 questions.
Yeah, we haven't really got many questions, that's why.
We have 3 questions. 2 of them are from MedVac Guy, who you know from the Discord, or if you've been listening, I guess you don't know from the Discord. Join our fucking Discord.
Well, there are 2. What do you know?
Yeah, so you can listen to Mike and Moth talk about, like, why Nazis are the true feminists.
What?
As the years
Mike,
roll
are you
on
okay?
and more anime becomes samey, or some similar,
Mike,
or lack for a
Mike,
better
I'm sorry.
is the industry running out of fresh ideas, or is it just a perception thing from an aging person? It's perception, Medivac.
It is perception.
Wait, I gotta reread the question
absolutely say it's...
because I think I misheard you. Oh,
As
definitely perception, because there's a lot of really good shows coming out. There's always been a lot of samey shit. Forever.
there's more good coming out now than there were previously, and that's just because more things are coming out.
Now, I would say that we are kind of suffering, and I don't want to use this term because it's going to cause like Mike to have an eye seizure.
Jesus fucking Christ, you're going to say Moe.
But we're kind of reaching like that weird Cal Art syndrome.
I hate that too.
Go away.
Wait.
Well, no.
Well, hang on, wait. Actually, I'll hear about this because there actually is a
female...
lot of sameness in a lot of anime. This is actually a thing.
Well, they were talking about, they showed female character designs from animes from about like 1992 to about 2002. And the only real consistency I saw is that women tended to be really tall, like they had really long legs with really thin waistlines.
But there's been a changing art style that's predominantly in anime since anime has been a thing.
Yeah.
And it's always been some kind of samey. Like you go back to the 80s and 90s and you watch stuff like Bubblegum Crisis and Slayers, and all the girls have big hair and they have like, and they're all like actiony
enormous
characters,
eyes.
like actiony girls, and
But
enormous eyes.
I felt that I could tell female characters apart better in the 90s than I can
I feel like this
now.
is rose-tinted glasses times a million, but
yeah, it
no,
is.
I definitely disagree.
it depends on the show. It's up to the individual,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of shows that are great. Like, I think, well, actually, there's a
Well,
lot,
like,
there's a lot
okay,
of variety in art
there's this-
style nowadays. I'm not sure how.
But okay, let's compare two harems. That'd be the best way to do it.
That is
So I'm
literally
gonna go
not. Harems are the bottom barrel of anime, and they're
I'm going
designed to be as mass appeal as possible. So
I'm
they
going to
always
go to
look like the
2002.
predominant like the predominant style.
I'm going to go to 2002, and I'm going to bring up Love Hina. And I'm going to say that every single one of these girls I could tell apart from the other. No problem.
Yes,
no question
because
asked
they're
whatsoever.
Okay,
you
but-
can't use harem
but
as
now-
an example because harem characters are explicitly
No,
designed to fill
it's
fetishes.
different. No, it's absolutely different because in 2019 there was an anime where a dude was in a harem with 5 chicks, and every
up.
single one of them looked exactly
the
the
fuck
same.
up.
Okay, but what about
Go
My
the
Hero
fuck
Academia,
away.
which has every character being super
No,
distinct?
Frog, don't legitimize his question. He's talking about quintessential quintuplets, the show about quintuplets fucking a guy.
That makes more sense then.
I like how Mike has just learned to pick up when I'm going for it.
I'm
Is that the entire
slowly
joke?
Yes.
Is this
that
all
was the
set
joke.
up for a joke? Okay.
Yes.
I was actually interested in talking about like design similarities in a lot of shows. That's actually a good topic.
Please do, Frog.
Yes, there is a lot of design
'Cause that's
similarity
actually
in a
the
lot
thing.
of
There's
shows.
there's a bit of homogenous like design. So, like I think what's like the most anime thing you can think of, like the most generic kind of anime.
Sword
Weirdly
Art
enough,
Online.
right now, Sword Art Online and Bill
Yeah.
Furry are perfect.
I think Sword Art
examples
Online
of
is actually a
this.
really good example of like the default anime style. It just looks like
It's
anime.
if you think of anime, you're thinking of Sword Art Online.
I mean,
Yeah, or Bleach.
Bleach is like its own kind of
no,
thing.
Bleach character designs are like
got its
that's
own
like the best thing about Bleach.
Yeah, I think so.
No, that was the best part of Soul Eater.
Soul Eater also has really good design.
Yeah.
Actually,
I like how Moth's like example are like a show in which all the characters look pretty unique.
I mean, that's all. I mean, that's a good thing. Actually, the rule of silhouettes is a thing, right? You want everyone to cast a different silhouette.
The rule of silhouettes is actually really important. Yeah. I feel like that if you held a lot of current female characters, My Hero Academia aside, I will give that show credit. That furry mangaka can design stuff all day. And weirdly enough, Oda, I feel like I could tell 90% of the One Piece cast,
except for the girls,
by their designs.
I think you're insane. Like, especially the female characters in One Piece.
No,
don't have.
Absolutely, you could line up all the girls from the Cake Island arc, and I can tell you exactly who they are.
Female girls in One Piece either look like hourglasses or like monsters.
There's nothing wrong with either of those.
No, there's not.
Look up Sandersona Hancock.
I refuse to type in anything One Piece related to anything around me in case it starts getting recommended to me.
Okay, but I feel like that it is perception based. I think all three of us agreed at that at the beginning of the question. Is right now, because in the 90s it was all mecha. It was all mecha and pseudo sci-fi, like that weird city pop, like city punk thing that was going on.
I miss that time.
I don't. But, like, right now, there's a lot of isekais coming out. And so when you look at it that way, 50% of the material that comes out is isekais. But
anime is literally made for the lowest common denominator of nerd. So it comes in waves of what...
not true, because Hamtaro...
What?
I almost want to say Fate, but Fate has at least a distinct kind of look to it.
No, Fate's distinct kind of look is to sell to Koreans.
I mean, it still has a distinct look. Whatever it is.
There's nothing distinct about Fate.
There's a little bit.
I could not tell Fate apart from like a generic isekai anime.
I can. I mean, it's
Drifters being good character design.
That's pretty cool.
Drifters is fine character design.
So what's weird is Drifters looks a lot like Hellsing.
I never watched Hellsing. Don't yell at me.
I'm not gonna yell at you. Hellsing and Drifters have the same fucking artist. And he knows this. You can't try twice in such a little amount of time. Next question.
You're right. Drifters is a callback to Hellsing.
I think
next question, also from Medvac Guy.
That's crazy.
Do you all have an anime that you forced yourself to watch despite not being into it? If so, have you ever gotten to the end and were happy with that you powered through it?
Oh man, I had to think about this for a minute.
I have two answers, and both of them are no.
What? Oh, I guess that is two answers.
Yeah, well, no, both of them. Toradora,
which is great.
I honestly did not like the ending. Toradora, and weirdly enough, like, I'm happy I finished Naruto so that I can talk about it with people, but it's just like, the hell did I just waste 800 hours watching?
So I think, why would you watch Naruto? Just read it.
I'm gonna pull an R. Kelly here and admit something I don't want to admit.
I don't think he reads very much.
I'm kind of illiterate.
It's an Alex Jones.
You can believe it.
Believe it.
So my answer for this question is,
Data bio.
I actually have two as well. The first one is one I've talked about before. It's Punchline.
Oh yeah.
When I first tried to watch Punchline, I really, really liked the first part of the first episode, and then it just looked like it was going to be ecchi garbage, and I don't like ecchi. I hate that shit. Like, I don't like stuff that just exists to titillate. And it was a shadow member of the podcast, Frenchman McFrenchface. I believe it was him. He convinced me to go back and actually watch it, and I did. And now Punchline is one of my favorite anime, of all time. In fact, I just recently bought the game, which I don't want to actually play because it's garbage. It actually is just a porn game. But the anime is super fantastic. My other example is Wild. I've talked about this before as well. Katanagatari. I watched the first episode of Katanagatari. Shut the fuck up, Moth. I will fucking kill you. I watched the first episode of Katanagatari, and I didn't think it was anything special. Because if you watch the first episode, other than its like really interesting art style, it just feels like a samurai anime. But by episode 4 technically. Yeah, episode 4 is when it starts playing with your expectations more, and it's really engaging. And granted, like the episodes before that are also engaging, but they're like traditional. There's nothing super special about them. It's basically setting up your expectations to then defy them with the rest of the series. And considering that each episode's 45 minutes long, it can feel like a slog, but it's so fucking good. So good.
Wow.
Frog.
Okay, I think I found a couple answers for this. I was kind of wrecking my brain. I couldn't find many, but I think I got a couple. Okay, so one is kaiji, actually. Because I feel like a lot of people stop it when they start watching kaiji. They go like, you know? Because it's a very, very slow start, to be fair. I think the first 8 episodes is kind of where you need to start.
Is kaiji the one where the dude eats food and has blue hair?
No. I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, you're thinking of Toriko? That's a completely different thing. Kaiji's the one with the
you sundowning, my dude?
I think like the sun is going down at this point, and I'm just like not sure what's going on around me.
Toriko's a fun little manga, but no, I'm talking about Kaiji. It's a gambling one. The one that's not a horror gambling. It's just a guy.
Is it the one where they're playing mahjong?
No, that's Akangi. Although they do play mahjong later, but not in the anime.
Okay, all right. So Kaiji, it's the one where he's like, "I'm gonna live no matter what, even though I'm in debt." Okay,
and it's so great, but it's a very slow start. I think it takes, like I said, like you need to get at least 8 episodes in for if you really want to. By that point, if you like it, then you'll like the rest of it. But if you don't, then like you might like the rest of it. It's hard to tell because it changes a lot. But that's one, and I don't regret at all going through with it because I loved it. It's one of my favorite series now. And then the other one, I had another one. Fuck, where does it go? Where did it go? One Punch Man. Yeah, One Punch Man. I didn't like One Punch Man when I first saw it.
Wait, seriously?
I mean, I didn't love it. It looked great, but that's not enough to keep me going if it just looks great. I still don't find the story that interesting anyway. I haven't watched season 2 or anything yet, or read the manga, so don't crucify me. I just talking about the first season alone, but it didn't really interest me that much, and I didn't find it that funny. And I finished it, and I went like, yeah, it was okay. So there you go.
One Punch Man is like wild because I love the concepts behind One Punch Man a lot more than I actually like.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. And I think
like the idea of being like passionate about something, even if it's just something as weird as eating crab, could turn you into like
it was silly. I like the
or give you superpowers.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's funny. It's got some funny jokes in there. I think but then I don't know. Then Mob Psycho came out like a year later.
Yeah, Mob Psycho is just better.
It's just everything done way better in a way better, more interesting way, and a way more appealing art style, and that's
better characters,
and better storylines, and not better animation. It's like on par animation, I guess.
Except for season 2.
Well, yeah. Season 2 blew the fuck out, and then the season 2s were like opposites, right? One of them got way better, and the other one got way worse. It was weird.
Which is sad because, like I said, my favorite character's fight in that one.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you, Moth. They did that fucking fight dirty.
Dude, I love Metal Bat, and they ruined his one chance to shine.
Anyway. But yeah, those are my picks, I think. I probably have some more, but I can't think of any at the moment. Oh, I guess I could maybe say, for manga, I stopped reading King and Ashura right away, and then I picked it up later, but I didn't really... It wasn't because I was bored, it was because I just picked it up for later.
We do have one more question. Actually, would you say Dr. Stone fits that category?
No, I think I like Dr. Stone pretty much right away. Personally, I know it's not a popular opinion. I think I've actually done some research, Mike. And you're not alone in thinking that the start's kind of bad, but it picks up a lot.
Yeah, literally episode 6
picks up a lot, and it's really good from there. I still think reading the manga is a way better decision, though.
I'll take your word for it because I don't find it engaging at all.
You don't have to. I'm just saying.
All right. So this last question, we're just going to give a reason and wrap up.
This last question comes from someone who chooses to remain anonymous.
It's my dad.
As many people are currently under self-imposed quarantine, what are some anime, manga, or game recommendations to help prevent going insane?
One Piece.
I think that would increase your level of insanity. I think that
One Piece.
Just sort of...
And then play Pirate Warriors 3.
What is that?
Just it's a One Piece game.
Oh, that makes sense.
It is actually what got me into One Piece.
So I will recommend. Obviously, you know, most people haven't watched Katanagatari. It'll last you fucking 12 hours, so I mean that'll get you through some time. There's a really good Netflix Korean zombie show called Kingdom.
Whoops.
I was gonna talk about it more, but there's not a lot to say. It's a Korean period piece, so it's not Japanese. But if you like the idea of a zombie apocalypse in like medieval Japan, it's awesome. And also it has like classic kung fu like fight choreography, like where it looks more realistic. It's really fucking fantastic, and they have a really interesting take on the zombies in that during the day they revert back to normal corpses. So no one really in the first season no one really knows who's infected until night comes. It's really good, has good comedy, good action, good characters, and it's worth watching during this quarantine period because your fucking neighbors might turn into zombies.
Yeah.
You got something for
I do
us,
have a couple
Rog?
things. Mostly like games, because actually a bunch of games came out recently that I'm very interested in.
In that case, Warcraft 3 custom games. Lose yourself.
Cool.
In the music, the moment you want it.
I was going to say...
All right, well, we know Mike is white and from the south.
I was going to say, if you like Enter the Gungeon, which you should, you'd probably like Exit the Gungeon, which came out today as of recording this on the 18th. Or actually the 17th, because this is midnight. But, yeah, you should play that game. It looks really fun. I haven't played it myself yet, but if it's by the same developers, I know it's going to be great. Under Night and Birth, the newest version of Under Night and Birth comes out next Friday. So by the time this is out, I think it'll be out? Yes, that's how it works, yeah. So... Wait, no, that's not how it works. No, sorry. A week after this comes out. I think. Right?
It'll come out after
27th.
this.
It's on the 27th. If it's 27th when you're listening to this, go buy Under Night and Birth EXE Lake Clear, and then play it with me on Steam, please.
I'm also going to recommend, because I want to make some manga recommendations.
I was going to do that too.
Because I'm going to mostly stick with stuff that's either done or is longer.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. That's what I wanted. I was thinking about that.
Because it's for quarantine. You got to keep your mind occupied. If you haven't read Berserk, you should read Berserk.
But it'll never end.
Fantastic. It's never going to end. Idolmaster has replaced it as the canonical ending.
Hunter divided by Hunter.
There's also a really great manga by who's currently doing a manga called Chainsaw Man. It's called Fire Punch.
Yes.
Fire Punch is completed. So if you've been kind of reading Chainsaw Man or maybe you've heard of it, and you want to watch something read something that's similar but is done, Fire Punch is amazing. And if you don't love it by the first chapter, you're insane. The first chapter is fucking nuts.
Read Chainsaw Man 2.
Yeah, read Chainsaw Man 2, but that's not done, and you'll get caught up and be sad that there's not more.
True.
That's fantastic.
It's really, really fucking good.
I also want to recommend my actual favorite manga. It's one I don't talk about much because we don't talk about manga all that much. Oyasuma Pun Pun, or Good Night Pun Pun.
Yeah, let's all be depressed at the end of the night.
Hey, if you're quarantined and you want to deal with the existential horror of no longer having childhood innocence and growing up with social expectations that you don't quite understand, then hey, read Oyasuma Pun Pun and process the feelings that you wish someone else would convey. And cry and be really sad and think about killing yourself, but don't because you have life.
Yes.
It's good shit.
Yeah, nope. All right, so that's been the We Hate Anime podcast. I'm gonna go cry now.
Same. I think I'm gonna do that too. Actually, I gotta go to bed.
I'm gonna go make some curry ramen.
Oh, you guys should listen to fucking what's the fucking band called that does the Aizakin ending? Aizoken. My friend makes fun of me for saying Aizakin because he's Japanese. It's Aizoken. You drilled that into my head.